Yeah. Flamboyant, yep, it's on YouTube at the moment. Unless it's a different YouTube channel. Guys, my BTN Live. Wow, that's a weird heck of a way. How are you, man? Flamboyant Tengen. Yeah, it's on YouTube, brother. Okay, let's go. I mean, okay, it's what I said 15 minutes, right? So it's now 7 minutes. I'm waiting for the 15-minute mark to come, man. Kamara goes long. Yep, see, they're gone for the target forward early. Conserve the yellow card, target forward again. Here's the inverted fullback. So you see how many passes have gone to the target forward early. You know? They all like, poof, give it to the target forward. Give it to, even on balanced mentality. And because that's a bottom heavy tactic. So every time I give it to them, I'm giving them a chance to bring all their players up the pitch. Luke Chambers again, Konsa finds Kamara, the volante, goes, oh, nice. Nice football. Okay, that was a one touch into the area. Diaby does really well. Oh my goodness, that was a nice short corner routine. Nice short corner routine. Here we go, another short corner routine. Diaby again goes deep. Nice. Oh man, there were probably not enough high, tall, dark, and handsome guys at the far post. Okay. All right. Okay. This is an insane tactic again. This is one of those insane tactics. Okay. So we will go to sane tactics a bit later. Okay. But these are insane tactics. Insane ways of trying to use these roles. I'd rather have like a what we will do to bring some sand. 20 minutes. I can do it now. Okay. All right. So we change the PIs first. So now we go into this, and then I go and bring it to positive because I want to change the passing length. Right, okay, so the tempo is still quite high, right? Defense pass into space. This distribute quickly. There's no, I don't see the point of doing this, right? Okay, I want him actually distribute over the opposition defense. To hell with giving it away. Okay, so there's no, I don't want him to even go for the target man over because I just realized we got nobody on the flanks. Oh, I don't have anyone. I mean, unless these target forwards are counted, no. Okay, we'll try and see. Yeah, let's do that. We are winning second ball. I don't know. I wish there was a way this game can show you consistently, right? How many second balls have you won? Okay, not bad. Okay, this we got a goal. This here thing is the one thing about Football Manager, right? Is if you make a tactical change and it leads to a goal, right? That tactical change actually works. So you should get like, oh, I don't bother very much about corners after I scored 2 or 3 goals. So I know my tactical system works. But if I haven't scored and I get a goal from a corner, then I know I keep the tactical changes. So that's how I use the highlights to tell me what to do. Barkley with the ball. Konsa is on a yellow card, so we have to be careful. He's running all over the place, trying to do all the work on one defender. Watkins again, nice. Okay, good ball. So he's working, hey. And we haven't given the distribute target for our target forward. Chambers now comes wide, inverted fullback, and Doughty. Look at this. He's going to turn his back. Yep, that's why. Okay, counter because we have counter press on. So he ran, right? And then he turned his back immediately. And that's also because of our defensive line. So sometimes you want to check where your defensive line is. That's how you do it. Okay? You watch on 2D, you watch them running and see when they turn. That's where your defensive line is. Okay. Not bad. Okay, we got the goal. Now let's okay, this is crazy. I feel like changing this tactic, but we just want to see all the crazy tactics. Enganche is having a good game in 7.6. He's a star. I am the star of this tactic. Okay. All right, Tyrone Mings, this is crazy. There's no player or defense, but they're doing it anyway. Kamara, the volante, he's on his own. But here goes Watkins. Counter press is on because we don't want to. The moment we lose, when we're attacking, I want to keep the possession of the ball as quickly as soon. I want to get it back as quickly as I can because we'll be having too many players in attack. See, that's how you think about the counter pressing. Counter pressing, right? Okay, this is very simple. Is your counter-pressing instruction working or not working in the game of Football Manager? Count. 11 seconds. You don't win the ball, change something. Yeah, change something. Oh, look at your players. Find out which of these guys who are supposed to be in position didn't do it, that kind of thing. And it's got absolutely bugger all to do with your trigger pressing. Okay, don't worry about trigger press. Because the reason why my trigger press is set to my Mac. Actually, I should bring it down. forgot. Now I got 2 DMs. Okay. I have 2 DMs. The moment I have DM players in my DM tier, I never play a maximum. I only play a maximum when I have no DMs. That's the rule I have in my head. Because then I don't want my potentially my defenders and my volantes going for the same, reacting to the same mistake from a player. Chambers now is much better. It's on positive, which is also a great way for you to play short passing. Okay, and it's also on I reduced the passing length. Remember earlier, so we're doing a better job of keeping the ball. So now not everybody rushes after. Now we got one guy and we deal with the cross. That's good. Okay, but still, this is an insane tactic. Once again, it's not a great tactic. It's just an insane tactic. You know, we're just trying to make the enganche work, even in the most ridiculous of setups. The idea is the enganche is working because there are 2 volantes giving him some love, right? So these volantes are coming up, giving him some love, and we've got 2 target forwards who will occasionally drop off to receive the ball too. Now you can we not use target forwards? We can. I'll change the role very soon, and you'll see something different. Okay, so now we'll change this role to pressing forward on attack. In this setup, right, you can also use complete forward attack. Okay, we'll have one pressing forward, one complete forward. So a complete forward is a great choice when you don't have AMs. So if you don't have AMs in that tier, you can use a complete forward. Why? Because complete forwards will also drop. So this complete forward could end up here now. Konsa with the ball, does really well, holds on to the ball. Moreno to Tyrone Mings, is playing as a libero, gets into the area, looks for... Ooh, that was a nice move. Not bad, not bad. So this Enganche is having the time of his life. Diaby, of course, is an advanced forward, so I don't expect much from him. He's also got 6 for jumping reach. So this kind of tactics, right, I don't think he'll do well. But still, it's only 1-0. We could easily lose this game. I'm not impressed yet. I don't think this is a great tactic. I think it can be a 4-3-1-2 would do much better than this. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we come into the dressing room. We tell them it's absolutely unacceptable. Okay, look at where this... okay, Volante comes in, right? Look at these 3. They don't chase after this guy. Okay, we got Konsa still on a yellow card. Volante to Libero. Libero to the other Volante. Advanced forward going to a shooting position. The downside of now using complete forward, right, is the fact that I don't get those balls from the keeper now or defenders going into the left channel anymore. Because just now I had a few balls going into the channels, right? The left channel, the right channel. That's because we're using a target forward. So every time I score a goal, right, what I will do is I start looking for the roles I change. This is our complete forward. This is our complete forward. This is our advanced forward. And this is my pressing forward. Or target. In this case, I think it's pressing forward. Okay, so we go. Look at where the roles I move. Complete forward is roaming, right? So he moves a bit. And now we got all the positions. Okay, I know. Diaby is advanced forward. It takes and turns. Nice. I didn't expect that. If you look at this, right, it's quite clear. This is a trigger for pressing. Watch this, right? This guy with the ball, 7. And if you look very closely at 7, right, you will see something happen. See, Ogbuene is gonna turn. That's a trigger for this guy to keep pressing him. So he keeps pressing him. He's pressing him. See, look at this group. That's why my trigger pressing isn't set on maximum. These guys are not moving. This guy is close, right? He just comes in. Yeah. And then he plays the ball back. And so this inside inverted fullback is going to go back to this position again. Covers it. And this guy comes in here. So what? That's the reason why my trigger pressing is not on maximum. I don't want players like these, especially this player and this player, to start leaving their positions. So if you understand all this, right? If you understand the roles, you understand team instructions, and you understand how these roles work. Enganche, you notice where the Enganche has come. Enganches are great roles. They will drop off like this. They don't hang about like in this like permanently like like some roles are like anchorman, right? The anchorman has got like a string attached to the defenders. But Enganche doesn't have that. He still like drops deep, but it relatively if you look at a tactic, right? He's gonna be within the zone of your tactic, right? Of your formation. So where the volantes are, he's not too far. Now he's gonna stay. He's going to move into his central position as you get the ball. There we go. And he's back in the center again. Right, then you just stay in the center. And then from this position, so his movement is always like this. And if you look at the heat map over Enganche, it's not difficult to spot what you kind of guess where he's going to be. So he's always going to stay in that relative safe area, which is the center. So we're playing the Enganche right now, and he's got a complete forward and a pressing forward. Because you're playing positive, right? Okay. Mentality. And we drop the passing, right? I'm going back to, now I'm going to go pressing for attack. Guess what this guy's going to become? The poacher. Now all he does is stay in the area. Maybe I think Diaby, does he have aggression? He does, right? Okay, so I'm going to move Diaby and put him on the right. Okay, and Ollie Watkins as a poacher is a much better move because Ollie Watkins has got height, whereas Diaby doesn't. So he doesn't have jumping reach. So when you play a poacher, you really want somebody who's got height, bravery, composure, agility and balance as well. Poachers are not what Diaby just scored was a poacher's goal, right? But he actually turned his back, lost the player, and then went to score the goal, which is kind of cool. So now I'm trying to do 3 different roles in attack. My gut says the best one is actually advance forward because Enganche is like he likes to play killer balls, right? Poacher is just in front of the defenders. Killer balls don't really work for him. So this role is gonna not work in this setup. Like this combination here, this is not a good role for this combination. Because what you really want is a player that has got breaks offside traps, goes for goal. Right. So you're looking at the roles that I would go for in this position. I advance forward, pressing forward, even the Trequartista. Right. So you see, well, a couple of minutes, just watch. This guy's performance will start falling off a cliff. And they probably will not get any nice attacking highlights from our team. Okay, let's make a change. Yeah, I told you right. There's nothing happening. All very boring football. Okay, let's take Ramsey off, put in Buendia. Let's change his role back because, I don't like not doing well. Okay, so we put him in. So now he's becomes a Trequartista fronted by 2 pressing forwards. So he got Enganche. So, in some quarters, this might be considered too creative, right? Trequartista is going to roam. Enganche is also going to roam. Now we only got these 2 wide players. Kind of cool, right, if you think about it. Enganche is going to stay in the center. Trequartista could end up on the flanks. Yeah, so Kamara now, Douglas Luiz here, Trequartista is attacking the area. We got a pressing forward, which is why we have a pressing forward, right? We're using pressing forward because he's going to end up here if we need him to. If we use like advanced forwards, no, probably not going to happen as many times. I mean, it could happen, but I think pressing forwards are better in this situation. But yeah. But always find the role that you like, the movement that you like. Because all the roles have a lot of funk to them. You just have to get used to the movement of the roles. Say Enganche is still working. It will still work. But now, pressing forward. The players are confused already. Yeah, defensively, we're still solid. As we continue our little experiment. Okay, Moreno. There we go. Press one guy pressing for Mings to concert. Hey, no target forward to play the ball forward too. There we go. Trequartista, look at where he is. Trequartista drifted all the way, man. That was nice. Oh, that was Buendia. Hey, wait. I want to see the highlight again. I want to see who next time I have to make sure I see the highlight properly. I think that was the Buendia. See this Buendia? These are Trequartista. Let's look at the dynamic of these two. The movement. Okay. All right. Trequartista drops. Here goes our Trequartista. That's why the Trequartista can be quite funky. Because now with the Trequartista has moved, guess who's going to enter the area? The Enganche. Okay. Here he goes. And then we got the Enganche trying to cover that space. So if you have a Trequartista in front, right, the Enganche's movement changes as well. Because I don't know what it is about Football Manager, but the guy will just go, hey, you know what? There's nobody attacking. Let me go in. Because ultimately, this game is about space. Using the space in the game. See, the Ollie Watkins is now here. The Buendia is here, right? So this is our Trequartista. This is our Enganche. Okay? Watch how they move again, right? This is quite funky. Oh, no more highlight. Okay, come. Let's go. Another time. The two of them are there. See, the Enganche is now here. The Trequartista is here. All right, let's go. Okay. Watkins is moving. You see, Watkins isn't in the center anymore. Sometimes it goes in between players. Tyrone Mings does the deed. So it's up to you. If you want to make like a very fluid, like PSG tactic, right? I guarantee you'll be using a Trequartista for Moussa Dembele. I will use a Trequartista for Moussa Dembele because I would have a few very interesting roles of PSG. Because PSG's tactic is kind of fun, but they're using a 4-3-3. Yeah. So we got Ollie Watkins, and the ball goes behind. Our sweeper keeper did play what I was expecting him to do, which is go long. Well defended. So our Enganche in this tactic also worked. Enganche, so the roles that will work here: advance forward, target forward, pressing forward, Trequartista. These are the roles. I mean, to some extent, even a complete forward will work here. But what I don't like about, complete forward and Trequartista. If you can play a track, you can play a complete forward. How's about drunk training was? They wanted to have another drunk tennis weekend. So 2 weeks time. They want to do a Saturday, Sunday this time. It was absolutely insane. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I had so much fun. I was having an awesome time last time, man. Miles, thanks for asking. Yeah, the only reason why it's working right now is because I've got a bit more time on my hands with things happening here. Yeah, and it's the holidays as well. What are your thoughts on the match between BD and SG next week? We'll have to wait and watch. I think we'll have to wait and watch. I don't know. I got no thoughts on it one way or the other. Yeah. What about you, man? Arik Ahmad. What do you think is going to happen? Singapore, right now, the topic of Singapore football is about the Singapore Youth League. That's what I'm more interested in right now. Because Singapore finally got a youth. We finally have a youth league in Singapore. All right. Except now the parents have to understand that, they have to have a bit more, they have to behave better in the youth league. Because apparently one of the parents clobbered another parent with a metal chair. I know you get angry with the ref, you get angry with the situation, but you get angry with another parent? Your kids are like 17 years old, 16 years old, 15 years old playing, and you want to clobber somebody with a metal chair to the face. To the face. I could not believe it. I'm like, what is going on in Singapore, man? So, it's a joke right now. I wanted a youth league because the last time we had a youth league was a Milo bloody football we used to have. And that is in the 80s, man. Milo youth scheme. We had a youth scheme long time ago. Very competitive. In fact, when I was growing up, secondary school, the amount of rivalry between our secondary schools of football was legendary. Legendary. I was one of the best football schools in Singapore, okay? All right. Now, my school has since been demolished because we were such tyrants, namely me. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us are tyrants back in the day. All very badly behaved children. Not very good testimony, coming from me. But today, parents throwing metal chairs at each other. I'm like, what is going on, man? Very sad. Huh? And the thing is, like, Jocelyn Yeo was there. Her son was in the game. She was the one that made us. She was the one that reported it. Jocelyn Yeo happens to be Singapore's one of the most bemedaled athletes in Singapore. Swimming. So quite sad, lah. Okay, so this tactic even worked, right? So Enganche, we made this version work. Okay, 4-3-1-2, same principle, right? So we got 2 strikers now. We got 3. We'll put 3 here. Okay. Now, if I were to create something like this, guess what? This is how it's going to work. Okay, so you put a roaming playmaker here now. All right. Volantes on attack. 1 roaming playmaker in the middle. 1 Enganche target forward at 1 spot. Exactly like that. Don't change it. Okay. Same setup. Why does this work? Because Volante is going up, right? Okay, so the 2 Volantes are going up. They're on attack. Now, if you play them on support, it can work, but they're not as aggressive with the ball. They don't dribble as much because they're going to look to pass the ball, and they ain't nobody that they can pass the ball to because you just got to pull other players out of position. So it's better to get them to be more aggressive with the initial positioning. That gives you the latitude to play more aggressive roles along them so you can play roles like a roaming playmaker. Why did I pick a roaming playmaker? It's because I like a roaming playmaker. Now, the problem with the roaming playmaker now, there's several things you have to consider in this design. Okay, this guy is coming up. What happens when he comes up? And this guy comes up. So they'll be central, right? So to some extent, he might end up in these positions. But when you play a roaming playmaker, it screws up the Enganche's positioning. So if you play a roaming playmaker behind Enganche, what's going to happen is the roaming player comes out, Enganche goes, hey, I thought I was the star. Now you're putting somebody else, he shoves to the right. So what I would normally do in this kind of situation, knowing this is going to happen, okay, is I could pick something really safe, like an anchor, because anchor is going to tie himself to this guy. So he's not going to be too far away. Or we can just play a DLP on support, a holding role that doesn't hit the space. So your goal has to be not to use a positional play role. Okay, so now we're creating something a bit more funky. So this got a 3-2 build, 3-3 build out actually. The volantes will be quite deep. So we just put these guys in and see how it works. I don't know. Is it going to work or not? Okay, we don't know yet. We'll just try first. Figure out as the game goes on. Okay, distribute the flanks. Hey man, let's just play the game you're playing, which is kick the ball and hope for the best. It actually works as a strategy, because player or defense. Okay, when do you use player or defense? You use player or defense when you want teams to attack you. Okay, you want them coming up the pitch, closing you down, putting more pressure on your backline. That's when you play out of defense. So you better have players who can bring the ball out of defense. Okay, now I could, with this tactic, do the same thing. But in doing that, my volantes will be brought down as well. And I don't want that. So when I start designing a tactic, I ask myself this question. Do I need all my midfielders to drop deep? Because if they do, then I might lose the attacking side of the tactic. Because then if I want to play our defense, I need players in attacking these areas. Because that's when player or defense as a team instruction becomes very, very strong. So it's not right now, right? So why bother? So that's the logic. You missed FM 92K. You missed so much. You missed all the crazy Joey tactics at the start. Like we played with 3 strikers and 3 AMs. You missed that one. That was the craziest tactic. There's Spurs fan had a typo in chat. He said the goal was to make an Enganche. And he said formation 4-3-3. And I went like, dude, seriously? 4-3-3. That means 3 AMs, 3 strikers. So he said, then he corrected that with a 4-3-1-2. But then I was thinking, hey, this sounds quite funky. What? 3 AMs, 3 strikers, 4 no DMs, no MCs. This sounds like fun. So we made one fun Joey tactic and it worked. It actually worked. We are doing so many things right now, man. Hey guys, seriously, this old man needs to stretch. Okay, stand up and play for a while. Okay, stand up for a play. Okay, now we're gonna stand up, play for a while, because Yeah, I played tennis again today. This afternoon I was playing tennis in the hot sun. So I think my wife will not recognize me very soon. She's gonna go like, what is wrong with this man? Oh, you guys can see. Watch her. So I was actually wearing I got another football manager jersey, right? So I was wearing that during the game. Can you imagine playing tennis with Poacher? Okay, here we go. Konsa. So once again, I'm going to use a super keeper on attack. I want him to just pick the ball. Actually, now we don't need. Do we need to? We don't. Let's just play him on support. Okay, we don't have to get. Okay, now much higher defensive line. Does this work? No, it doesn't. Right? Okay, so much higher defense. Does prevent shot goalkeeper decision make work in this sense? We don't really need it because these three are going to do a really good job of forcing them to play their fullbacks. Right? Okay, let's keep it that way. Okay. This tactic needs us to, let me think, move the ball relatively quickly with shorter passing. Okay. All right, let's just try it. Wing it. How do you get the current tactic to work? I always have trouble with it working. Which current tactic? This one? The 3 DMs? Keep the ball and keep them moving up the pitch. Yeah, it's too heavily defensive. So you got to get the players up and attacking. Yeah. You got to choose roles that bring the ball forward. So, yeah. So we got this McGinn. See where these AMs are now. So this is our, look at the tactic again. So who's McGinn? McGinn is here, the volante. Right? See that? And the other reason why it works is we're playing with a maximum defensive line. So the back line is really supporting attacks. See that? That's why the inverted fullback is here. So if you play with a tactic where you need the fullbacks to come really high up the pitch to help these guys who are also expected to go really far up the pitch. So this volante is on attack. Remember what I said earlier? He cannot be on support. If he's on support, it'll be this. Not enough. We need him to do a lot more work. Because he's now going to be the basically the quasi winger. So he's a quasi winger. So him and the inverted fullback will work together to create chances from the flanks. So these two will work together to bring the ball forward. Whether it works or not, we don't know lah. Okay, we gotta watch it. But the theory in my head is 1, 2, go up the pitch, advance forward, has move into channels. Sorry, wrong rule. We use pressing forward attack. Pressing forward has moved into channels. This guy's got stay wider. Sorry, we put it in just now, right? Okay. Okay, so now we've got two roles that have moved into channels. So that when move into channels, it just means they do the tick tick. I don't need DLF on support. No, thank you. We already got one Enganche. We don't need somebody dropping deep and trying to be a hero. We already got one hero. We only need one hero in this tactic. Okay. So Volante, I don't know if this is going to work, like I said. So we have to figure it out along the way. If it doesn't work, we tweak. Yeah. And to tweak, you have to look at the highlights and the passing network. So, okay. Okay, something is not working here. You know what? Look at this, right? Okay, you see this? Look at all this. Our friend is here. See this guy? He should be here. This guy is the Enganche. So our friend Douglas Luiz, who happens to be this guy, is here. Is he changed? Now he's moved there. Okay. Finally, he must have gone at light speed, man. Enganche in a tactic is actually quite fun, but you got to make it work. You got to understand. Okay. The rule of the Enganche is this. Okay, you want Enganche? Very good. People have to be moving here, here. Nobody moving there. Enganche doesn't do anything. Enganche is just waiting for the ball to be brought to him. Okay, so we're using volantes right now, right? Okay, volantes are much deeper. The other role that actually is much nicer for the Enganche would be any role that goes up, not out. Yeah, we don't want a role that goes out. If it goes out, it's a Mezzala, and that ain't gonna work for the Enganche because he's like, hey boy, why are you going so far away from me? That kind of thing. So we don't want that. We want players who are not far away from him. Okay, so we got one beautiful goal coming in from someone who is probably Ollie Watkins. There goes a volante. See, Okay, why did this work? This is what move into channels means. He is in a channel now. He has moved into a channel. He's supposed to be here, right? This is a channel. So in Football Manager, there are 5 channels, right? Your wide channel where the winger is. You got the half channel where the Mezzala is supposed to go to. Then you got the central channel, which is somewhere from here to here. On the pitch, right? It's from here to here. This is the easiest to find now. This is a central channel. Okay. All right. Then you've got the other channels. Is the half channels basically from here to here, and then the wingers channel from here to here. So he's gone into the channel. There we go. He does really nicely, and the volante comes up, say hello, thank you very much for the goal scoring opportunity. Yeah, I like to use for volantes. Here the thing is I want to make the enganche the star of the show. So I'm trying to make the enganche. So the enganche does brilliantly there, wins the ball, and there we go. The pressing forward goes out because it is in a channel. He goes, hey, you know what? That's my role. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move into the channel. So that's the thing about Football Manager. Understanding what these instructions actually mean will be the difference between you making a good tactic and you making a tactic and hoping that the roles move where they're going to go. Because that's what you'll be doing. So now we got volantes. Okay, now I'm going to change this. Okay. We already saw the movement. It's very nice, right? A volante goes in brilliant because that's what I want. I want the role to come up to the enganche. That means enganche might go here and this volante is going to go, hey, you know what? Thank you very much. You create a beautiful goal scoring opportunity for me. I'm going on to score the goal. That's what I want because these guys are going to go towards goal. If I put the Mezzalas here, the Mezzalas are going to work really well with another role that actually gives us width. So this is the reason why I don't use a Mezzala. So you would use something like CM attack or box to box at the volantes. Yes, I would do that. Yeah. So now we got this. But I have this thing about positioning of players on the pitch. So I'm very demanding as I need to know that you are going to be there. So I want predictability in my tactics. So I'm very much like the curse that is modern football right now. Okay, where there's so much positional play, right? Players are expected to go this position, there's little roaming. What we're going to do next is we're going to make an extremely fluid tactic where there's a lot of movement and I won't know who's going to score the goals because I ain't got no idea who's going to be where. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So we've done the enganche already, right? So I think you guys now understand how the enganche works. So we're going to make next tactic is going to feature how to do that now. We can't. We do another AM role, right? So we do the wider AM roles now. The wider AM roles, we don't need to do the ones in the center. The center, the best 2 roles by hands down, the 2 best roles to use as in the AMC tier is either the attacking playmaker or the enganche. AM also works. In this setup, you can use Shadow Striker as well. We just changed it. All of you have seen it already, right? So we'll go Shadow Striker now. Okay, now I'm going to use a Shadow Striker. Okay, now I'm going to use a role here more like a I'm going to use a Trequartista instead of a target forward or a role that drops deep, whatever. Okay, so we're now going to have a Shadow Striker punching through. So we don't actually have anybody now dropping, right? Guess who's coming? Roaming playmaker. Because now I've got these guys, all 3 attacking. Except this guy's going to drop off and try and create some fantastic goal scoring opportunities. So we'll just ask Buendia to be the Trequartista. Yeah, I don't care. You just figure it out as you go. He doesn't know the position anymore. He like, look, he's giving me the look. No, I don't know how to play that position. Yeah, if I wanted to use a pure runner, I'll go AMA. As in, you just run for goal. But now I'm going to use a Shadow Striker, right? This guy's, Shadow Striker? Okay, good. Shadow Striker, Trequartista. Now the roaming playmaker coming in from behind. This is going to be insane. Yeah. So I want to pay attention to the roaming playmaker. And we can allow 4 goals, right? That's why we're doing this. Yep. That's why we're doing this, baby. We're doing this because we've got a 4-goal buffer to mess around with. I mean, Okay, so we got a 4-goal buffer still. Alright, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, I want to see if this works. This is new. I have not done this. Roaming playmaker. The theory in my head says this guy's gonna go up, this guy's gonna come, and this guy's gonna come there. Okay, Trequartista might drop into this hole. The Shadow Striker might go in to attack. Okay. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll become even more risky. We'll go pass into space, go narrow so there'll be more through balls through the middle. We're also distributing to flanks, distribute quickly because we ain't defending. We're just gonna hoof the ball up when we first chance we get. And these two seem to be okay with it. We're not playing any of this complicated player or defense stuff right now. Okay, so we're gonna avoid that. And we're still defending quite reasonably well. Yep, Matty Cash does brilliantly. So let's just go to key highlights very quickly so the game processes the data and then we can see, go back to comprehensive highlights. Okay, good. I like to do that sometimes. I make a change, right? I go key highlights because key highlights will tell me immediately. If the highlight is mine, great. If the highlight is not mine, I better change something. Okay. Nothing much. Not very nice. I don't think Volante, this thing is going to work in this tactic. I'm going to have to do something different. Yeah, we don't really care about scoring, correct? Nice. See, aggression is such a beautiful attribute. Okay, there we go. Buendia. All right, okay, now we'll revisit, okay? Trequartista. Where's Buendia? So we're here. The whole goal of using the Trequartista was so that we can get this whole thing happening right now. Trequartista is here. Okay, with this, right, he's gonna come in. Trequartista goes in, he comes out, he helps develop play. Trequartista, look at this guy here. Watkins here. Okay, nice. Trequartista is still here. Shadow Striker is here. His Shadow Striker is actually further away than the advanced forward. Yeah. It goes up, and now Trequartista is still here. And guess what's happened now? This guy's moved up. See, this is the thing about using a Trequartista in an attack pattern. So if you want to create like a really fluid tactic, right? If you wanted to go and say, okay, tomorrow I want to make a tactic that is very PSG. As in, I have no clue what's going to happen, right? You better be using Trequartistas. Very nice. But Trequartistas, you kind of need to have like somebody attacking the area, right? So you might have to have like, if you're playing like a 4-3-3 and you put a track in front and you could put a track on the right, you could put a track on the left, got 3 Trequartistas, you better have a CM on attack. Yeah. So it's a bit crazy, but crazy tactics are just, as long as you understand that these roles can end up in these positions, that's all you need to know. That, okay, he's going to end up here. Who's going to take over that spot then? So we're just having fun with West Ham right now. Okay, Tyrone. So I'm looking at where Trequartista is right now. I'm like trying to find him. Watkins is here. Buendia is here, okay? And look at where Buendia is now. And Watkins. So look at the line that they formed. Nice. That's nice. Okay, our Trequartista is on attack. Okay. So our Trequartista is the furthest forward. Oh, it's offside. Okay. All right, second half, we're going to change this. We're going to make another setup. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to leave the Trequartista. We've got a Shadow Striker. So what we're going to do is we're going to move you here and move you here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Mezzala on attack. Okay, and I'm going to use Mezzala on. I'm going to use a Mezzala on support. Because two is Mezzala on support. They're just going to support. Let's see what happens to these roles. Okay, problem now is with Mezzalas on support. I use Mezzalas. When do I use Mezzalas? I use a Mezzala when I want, okay, my tactic to have crossing as a predominant goal-scoring outlet. Right? So I want goals to come from the wings. I want a lot of creation to come from the wings. That's when I use Mez. If I want a lot of creation to come from the center, then I use box-to-box midfielders. I use volantes. I use those guys who are going up, not going out. So these guys are going out. Let's see what happens. But we are playing narrow, right? Okay, so that means that, I know what to do. Focus way to the middle. This will encourage the two Mezzalas to come closer to the center. So now I get Mezzalas a bit more creative, coming closer to the center. That's what I would, that's what focus play to the middle does. It makes the central midfielders come closer to the center. Okay, so now we're using two Mezzalas. And then we got Shadow Striker here because we're gone from Enganche, yeah? Okay, so this role now can be a plethora of players. Okay, we can also use AMA on attack. Okay, all these funky roles. Okay, so we just put him here. Watkins asking to be that now. So what will happen is when you use like an AMA on attack, he'll play to his attributes, but he's just a clean, mean, I'm going to the boss machine. And this other thing about why I don't like Mezzalas. Okay, if I had been playing Volantes, right, my sides will be a bit more protected because I got 3. And these guys will be in this channel, the half channel. Now they're not in the half channel, right? They bring the ball into the half channel, but they themselves might not be defending in that position. So Konsa comes up nicely. So we're done Enganche, we wrap that one up. Trequartista are quite straightforward, right? Because Trequartista and Enganche, Trequartista APA all can play the same way. But I'll make a Trequartista for you guys. Trequartista could be fun. We'll do a Trequartista tripartite. Trequartista, advance forward. No. Let's do Trequartista, see what happens. What's the worst that can happen to this tactic? Okay, let's go Trequartista. Okay. 3 glorious Trequartistas, 2 Mezzalas, oh god. Half space roles, 2 DM on support, inverted fullbacks or protecting our flanks libero. This is the thing about the inverted fullback, right? With an inverted fullback, you can do so many crazy things with the tactic because you know these guys are they're gonna be there to protect your flanks. Okay, so this is before the change, huh? Okay, protected our flanks. Tyrone Mings came to protect the flanks. Now we got 3, the unholy trinity of Trequartistas. Does this mean that? It just means that, when you have 3 Trequartistas, you have 3 very creative fluid roles moving around the area, right? So this guy could end up here, or this guy could end up here. All of them can end up in places that you have no clue. Like, look at where Buendia is. It's not formed like a tree, right? Okay, so that's where Buendia is. Now watch what happens after the ball. There you go. Boom. Trequartista is going to the center. Then the other Trequartista drops back. Because the ball has moved to the left. So if the ball moves to the right, the other Trequartista will drop. So that's all you need to understand when you play with this, when you play like a tripartite of Trequartistas. So you're gonna get a very, very unpredictable tactic if that's your thing. Now, if I wanted to do the same thing and go like now we got 3 Trequartistas, right? I'm very tempted to go do PSG because PSG is a Trequartista based tactic. But Mez, get it now. We're gonna put box to box. Okay, we're gonna use 2 box-to-box midfielders instead of 2 Mezzalas. Okay, so now I got 2 box-to-box midfielders, and these 3 guys in front who've been left to their own devices. So we got 3 Trequartistas now. Instead of just playing with what was it again? The AMA kind of thing, right? So now we got a party of 3. See the look at where the inverted fullback went. Love him. The downside of using Trequartistas is going to be your defensive work. The defensive work rate in the final third will drop. And I'm just happy to see West Ham playing a 4-3-3. They're not trying to win this game. After this, we'll make a 3-4-2-1. We'll make back. Now we'll play with a different setup. Like 3-4-2-1s, and then we can play with wider roles as well. In fact, I'll do a combination. One tactic which has got 3 in there, and I can set up a wide tactic. Okay. All right. So let's just finish this off. Even I wouldn't play with 3, but it can be done. You just get so much unpredictability in the tactic, and you probably wouldn't be happy because you don't know who to blame for not scoring goals. So you wouldn't know who is supposed to be in the goal scoring position. Yeah, so I wouldn't do 3. I would do like maximum 1 or 2. That's about it. Okay. All right. So now we've got this. So we're gonna make a tactic which is got all 3 here, and one more guy here. Okay, so whatever it is gonna have 3. Okay, all right. What we want to do is play with a 3-man defense. All right, that means I'll put you here and here, and this work. Yeah, libero, inverted wing back on an attack. Inverted wing back on attack. Stay wider. Stay wider. Okay, ball playing defender. DM. Libero come here, right? Inverted wing back is going to come this way. These guys are going to give us our width. So what we want is like, and here we'll get advanced forward, and here we'll play a Trequartista. Okay, so Trequartista is going to drop all over the place. Will this work? Because now we got wingers wide. Like this guy was set up. What do we want? Okay, so whenever you make a tactic, I'm asking myself, what are you guys doing? Okay, so now if I play inverted wing backs, they're gonna come here, right? So they're gonna attack this area. So that's why we have liberos coming up. Liberos are gonna come up in this position when we have the ball. Liberos gonna step here. This guy will step here. That gives me like a simple setup, right? So it just means I have one defender, but I'll have a lot of options to bring the ball forward, right? So I could just tell him to roam. Roaming playmaker. Now, a roaming playmaker is just going to go up and down, right? So if we keep the ball, we could potentially get the ball moving up the pitch. The reason why I'm using inverted wing backs is because we are being insane. Okay? We just got to try inverted wing backs, see how this works. But Trequartista is going to drop. Maybe what we can do is give it a bit more funk. We'll play... Okay, in this kind of a setup, width is good, right? Because we got this guy coming. So you want roles that give you a lot of width. So the only role that really works in this situation is 2 wingers. Now, if I wanted to have like players cutting in and one guy coming up and doing like overloads, then I'll change the setup straight away. So I'll play like this. Okay, so I'll play like this, right? So now I can go into a 4-2-4. Then I can get this guy to play as a fullback on attack. He goes around the camel's ass and then comes in. We can use an AP on support now. Now AP on support, he can sit narrow or can sit wider. Leave him alone and then tell him to roam. He'll take up a few more positions so that you don't have to give him stay wider or sit narrower. The fullback on attack will come this way or he can go this way. Now that's the beauty about the fullback. The fullback can do both, right? All you gotta do, just leave everything. I mean, if you want him to stay wider or sit narrower, he'll just come into this channel. So we don't want him to do that. We'll just leave him alone. Okay. But and then here We get like a roaming playmaker, or no, we'll just go play like a guy that goes up. Because if I wanted to create now this is extremely attacking, right? It's very, very attacking. So we've got AP in this tier, we've got Trequartista in this role. AP is going to come here, here, and here. So these are the positions the AP takes up, okay? A Trek will come here, 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 and here, and here. So Trek can go a lot of places. He's like one of those roles that can end up on the flanks. So great. If we know this guy is going to go all over, what we really want is somebody coming up, okay? If he comes up, okay, if I get this guy to come up as a volante, right, the Trek will then be forced to play in this zone only. So then the Trek can end up here and here. So that's how you think about positional player roles, like how positional player roles affect the movement of other roles around them. Okay, so let's go back to the back tree system, right? So let's go and make a back tree system. Let's make the insane back tree system first, because we don't want to make all the funky. We know what the tactic is going to do roles. Okay, let's make something that is completely insane first. Okay, so we make something that's completely insane. Okay, so we can play like this, and then we stick this guy in here. Tell me the roaming playmaker, because look, I don't know what's going to happen in this tactic until I see it being played. Ball player, defender, and we get these guys to be liberos on support. Yep, they come up the pitch, all right. 2 liberos going this way. Then we get 2 inverter wingbacks on attack, 2 inverter wingbacks on attack. Okay, good. These guys are coming here. We'll put 1 AP here, and then what we'll do here is to play a round outer. Now we have a really insane setup. Okay, so I have an AP here that can end up here, but because the roaming playmakers are this Trequartista is going to come here, right? So we add a focus play now. So now we have a focus play that's going to happen in this area. So this now, if I were to use an inverted wingback, he's going to come here. Trequartista might come here. AP might come here. Does it make sense that this guy shouldn't be an inverted wingback? If he comes out as a fullback on attack, it'd be better, right? So we go wingback on attack since he's in that position. We use a libero now on defense. Okay. The libero is going to be given stay wider. So he covers this zone now. This libero is going to be told to not dribble more, take harder. We'll tell this libero as well to stay a bit wider. Okay. Because this inverted wingback, this ball playing defender has got a lot of work to do. So I got Trek now. AP in this area, and then Ramdaughter going to score goals. Okay, so now we're gonna look for a player that can play in this play. I don't know, man. I have no clue. McGinn can play here, I think. Then Buendia plays here. Diaby plays here. I don't know. Quick. Choose somebody. 7 days time, we'll find out who's fit enough to play. APs are cool roles. They can if they are played on the flanks. Okay. Oh, we're playing Liverpool of all the teams to find out. Oh, this is gonna be fun, man. Liverpool could be... I mean, we've been changing tactics every game. And we are within touching distance of the Champions League qualifying spots, man. Not too bad, huh? Every game attack that we have been changing tactics. And we lost a couple, but it's understandable. We are in the zone, baby. Decline. Nobody knows what to expect from our team. That's the problem. The AI doesn't know, no? He goes, plays a game every week and then discovers, hey, what are they doing this week? We don't know. We've given up. So we got Diaby, Watkins, McGinn, Ramsey. Okay, we got, wait, let me think. Shouldn't this guy be a pressing forward then? Okay, we play a pressing forward. Okay, so he pressing forward. Okay. So this guy can actually end up moving a bit more in ways, move into channels. Okay, so we got right defense. We're not going to use an underlap on the right side because I don't want the widest player holding up the ball looking for inside runs. That means the Ramdaughter is holding up the ball looking for inside runs. We don't want that. Okay, so that's out. So this underlap means the widest player will hold up the ball looking for runs, inside runs. It could come from the Trequartista. It might even come from the wingback. Okay, or any other role that, has got a lot of movement in this tactic. We'll see. Insanity has come to our show. Let's go. Okay, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. We are watching this on comprehensive highlights first. Mezzala is attacking us. Oh, God. Oh, nice defending there. Diaby with the ball brings it forward. Ramdauter was just attacking the space. Much higher defensive line. Okay, all right. Yeah, fine. That means the back lines will support our midfield aggressively. We are not playing a defensive game. We are bringing everybody forward. Okay, so inverted wingback is coming. Wingback is going. So, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're not clearing the danger. Matty Cash with the ball. He's a target of a transfer to, that team, West Ham, apparently. West Ham won him. Here comes McGinn with the corner as Aston Villa put pressure on Liverpool with their unconventional setup with two liberos. And I've got the libero in the wider position, putting pressure. See where the libero is? And this is the other libero. So we got these two liberos, and this is the ball-playing defender. This is where our inverted wingback is gone. So pay attention to the movement of this role, the wingback, and see how unpredictable he is, right? So we're going to zoom out a bit. That's where Moreno is. I'm going to click on the roles that we want to pay attention to. This is our Ramdauter. Okay, and this is our, where's the AP? No, not the AP. Yeah, that's the AP. Okay, so we got our AP in this position. That's why we got Watkins as a pressing forward. So he actually goes into this channel too. Now that makes the space open up for the Ramdauter. Okay, so we got a Ramdauter having some fun now. Finds Ramsey's got no idea how to pass the ball. No. Damn it, Ramsey, we cannot afford this kind of nonsense from you. Okay, Ramsey cannot pass the ball. Zaniolo, come on. You play that position now. Cannot play Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey is useless. You have to play a good player in that kind of a setup. Because he's going to have a lot of pressure. He gives the ball away again. Yeah, so we're going to have to take out the one thing. We're going to go pass into space. No pass to feed. Okay, so that could be one of the reasons why we're running into trouble. Because we got players on the left. Got a lot of focus play on one side. No, it's a pen, man. Luis Diaz went diving in the area, and Paul Tierney didn't hesitate to give the penalty to the visiting team. Like I said, this is shocking. But what else can we expect from a Liverpool team? Dodgy football, and I'm wearing their cap. They bought the referee here. Okay, we're just trying to see whether this works. Okay, Matty Cash in with the wing back, gives it to the Ramdauter. Ramdauter trying to do a lot of work here. There we go, the libero. Pau Torres gives it back to Martinez. We're hoping that the change does better, because now we got pass into space as well. So we might be encouraging the passes to happen into that area. Of course, this is high risk. Okay. Libero, Robbie, all of them are going up. Let's assume if I wanted to play safe, right, I'll go anchor. Okay, let's see what happens when I go anchor, right? That's really safe, because the anchor is going to... Douglas Luiz is not going to leave our ball-playing defender in the lurch, unlike the roaming playmaker. Okay, but still, there are not enough defenders. Okay, all right, but still, we ought to have some fun. Oh, here comes Mezzala. What a save from Martinez. Okay, all right, come on, let's go. Key highlight, extended highlights now. Here's Douglas Luiz, Ramdauter. No. Like I said, we are making some crazy tactics. Whether they work or not is not the goal. The goal is to see the movement of these roles. Okay, so we want to pay attention to where the AP is moving. We got to pay attention to the AM tier roles. So to do that, we still have to keep our click. So there's where the AP is, and the Ramdauter. So the Ramdauters are easy, the role. You want to make a Ramdauter work, you gotta give him space. Now we gotta come back in here and make a few changes. Okay, I'm gonna swap this around, play like this for a while, and then we get libero here. We got an extra midfielder. We'll put him here. Okay, now I've got DMS libero. put the libero here on support. You play the ball playing defender here on defense. We'll play a fullback on attack and we try to come inside. Edit. Straight narrow come inside with the ball. He gonna come anchor is gonna stay. Libero is gonna come here. DM is gonna just DM the roaming playmaker. So you go forward. Okay. Okay. Moreno is not a roaming. Okay. So you come here. You come here. You come here. Okay. All right. This is gonna be fun for my team, man. Manager is changing instructions, changing roles on the fly. No, Diaby is a round outer, so he's gonna be inside, he's gonna be outside. Yeah. So I've changed the roles a bit. Yeah. Because just now I wanted to show like the movement of the AP and I want to show the movement of the Trequartista. So I'm just doing these tactics just to show movements of these roles. So I think a more optimum way of using this kind of a setup is gonna be something like with a 4-2. Because I've always believed that if you play with these back five systems, you gotta be quite predictable in your setup or your tactic, which is like, three even two liberos, but two wing backs or fullbacks on attack. Fullbacks, no. Even inverted wing backs can work in that case, but there's certain things I didn't do right in the tactic. One of them was I should have had focus play through the middle. If you're playing that kind of like the way I set up the previous tactic, which only had one midfielder, right? I should really have focus play to the middle. Get more players into the center to support passes in the middle. Right now, we've got Matty Cash sitting narrow, coming this way. Diaby is going to be all over the place. He's going to be wide. He's going to be inside. We're just creating the space for him. So the whole team is moving to the left just for this round outer. But of course, we're playing Liverpool, so like you gotta be realistic. You don't make a lot of changes to your tactic against Liverpool. I just want so you look at where the AP is, right? Okay, AP, we got Trequartista, we got AP, we got Trequartista, AP, and pressing forward. Boys, not a good opportunity. Okay, there's no player. We don't do player defense. I got Liverpool are more than capable of punishing us with player defense. Because they're not going to be playing a game where they are, sitting back and defending. So player defense normally is not good. I mean, if you're going to use player defense, use it against a team that's defending, that doesn't want to come out. That's the best time to use player defense. But against a team like Liverpool, you better make sure that you can play our defense, meaning your players have the capability of passing the ball and finding their teammates with the ball. This is like one-man defender tactic, fullback all attacking, so it's quite risky. Watkins with the ball again. Okay, so if I want to make like, you all probably know, this is like, no, okay, we play, what is this? Inverted fullback. Now this is like safer. Then roaming playmaker, anchor. Now we don't need, we're going to go for goals. Also, Segundo Volante going to go up, AP. Everyone's going up to support play now. The center is going out to support play. The fullbacks will not be doing this anymore. They're still trying, but we just got to get these guys coming up to these positions only. But the center is going to move up. Right here again, wasn't a very good setup. Ramdaughter, the thing about Ramdaughter, and I'm 100% confident of doing this. When I play with Ramdaughter, is all you need to do with a Ramdaughter is use focus play. Yeah, that's it. And then to some extent, what you want to do is not set up like this. You want to set up like this. That means your priority, you're telling your team, is when they get the ball, right? You want them to look for wide players in wide positions as well. So your boys are wider, and you also want them to look for players in wide positions. So that's what that instruction actually does. Now, the reason why my whole setup didn't work is because my narrowest width. But you notice where my creative players are. They're all on the flanks. The AP is on the flanks. So this is the reason why my tactic didn't work. Because instead of going for the playmakers as a first choice, he probably was looking for the Trequartista as a first choice. Which explains why my Trequartista at the start of the game and until the 69th minute was registering 6.2 for his rating. So, but the thing is, the moment I start creating a different setup where, I increase the width, I'm finding more space for my players. And that's one of the reasons why if you want to play with these kind of roles, AP, round out, right? Anytime you want to go for these roles, right? Narrow is not your friend. You want to play wider because then you're telling your players, look for players on the flanks. So the key towards making these kind of roles kick, right, and do well is width. Because those players, when you pass the ball, they go there. Especially if you're looking for playmakers. If you're looking for a playmaker one side, you want him to switch play to the round outer, you definitely need width. Otherwise, if you play on narrow setups, what's going to happen is the ball is going to do a wall pass. It's just going to go from the winger or the playmaker. It's going to go back into the middle. And then that player looks out for the pass. By that time, it's too late already. You don't get the switch of play that you want. So the difference is between those. That's something there's a key to making these AM tier tactics work. We're going to make a proper one later. Okay, so you guys have seen the ones I made for the round outer tactics, right? So most of my round outer tactics have got focus play, and they are all wide. They're not like maximum width, but they are wide. They're not like 50%. They will definitely be at least 70%. The thing about this is, but you need to thing about Football Manager is that if you don't have fun with roles and duties, it's going to be a tough day. And to do that, you just have to go out there and just try different things. Right? Go into a game and try different roles and duties. The hardest role is not round outer. Actually, round outer is the easiest role to get right in the game of Football Manager. It is the easiest. Because it's one of the most predictable. It's like, all I got to do is go focus play, left. Who have I got creating? Okay, I put them on the left. Okay, round outer coming on the right. That's it. That's all. That's all you got to do. Okay. So that was a pretty crappy performance. Let's make one more. But this time we're going to use much more sample. I want to use this setup here. Keep it this way. Okay, now we're going to set it up with a different... The best options are going to be something like this. Right? So it's a 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1 is quite boring, right, y'all? But let's just do it. Okay, so we got a Trequartista, roaming playmaker. I guess the Liberos will come here. Okay, then the ball playing defender is here. Then we'll play like we don't need a Rivera. We just put a Segundo Volante and another Segundo Volante here, I guess. Yeah, we just put two Segundo Volantes. Okay, double Segundo Volantes. We'll tell this guy to take more risks. And we'll tell this one to take fewer risks. And no moving the channel. So we got this. Okay, simple setup. So 1, 2 go up. This guy comes in. Inverted fullback will be here. Inverted fullback will be here. Now we have to make sure this guy has got a left foot. Yeah, he's got a left foot. Okay, so let's go. Next game. Alright, so now we're trying to see if we can do a focus play one side of the pitch and try to make it work. Okay, so we come in here now, we go this and then boom, 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 we go wide. Yeah, we just leave it like this, right? Defense will work. Okay, counter press, much higher defense. I guess we don't have to worry too much. Let's just Moreno, yes, he can't play the position. Hey, where's Kamara? We have a Kamara here. Okay, we have a Kamara here. Put Zanilo here. Or where's Buendia? Do I have a... What? Oh, we'll just be Yuri Tielemans here, I guess. Lenglet, Olsen, Moreno, Ramsey, Chambers, Bailey, Rogers, Diego Carlo. Buende must be he's injured. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go. All right, so okay, we want to switch play, right? Okay, so switch play, tempo. Okay, we'll just max out tempo first. Pass into space because we want to encourage more of the riskier passes in this setup. Right? Okay. Now the other thing we can do is play mid block. Let's try mid block. Huh? Okay. Because now let's not go mid block. Huh? Okay. Let's just go. Yeah, a mid block easier to make the round outer work because there's got a lot of space for him to run onto. This demands that we move the team around and then score goals. Okay, so oh shit. Let's start with that. Distribute quickly. Oh shit. This is one confused manager. My team is gonna be so confused when they play, you know. They're gonna sit down there and go like, what are we doing? No, he wants us to hold shape. Then why is he playing distribute quickly? I don't know. Ask the manager. But all his instructions make no sense. I know. Ask the manager. We got okay. Pay attention to McGuinness. This is our this is our striker. This is our Raumdauter. Okay, so we got Trequartista and Tielemans. We got Raumdauter here. We got this guy. We got a 3-man defense. We've got two volantes and a libero. So the volantes are gonna come up the pitch, right? We got focus play down the left. So all the build out is here. And that was a risky pass. Again, the volante does really well. There, the inverted fullback is just doing inverted. The manager, do not talk to me. Yeah, do not talk to me. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how people get into situations where there's a revolt with their players. I've had a situation, right? Okay, this happened on stream, and you guys were there. You guys were all there. I remember. You guys remember those regular viewers. You remember that show where I was doing the Destiny Challenge, where I was playing against your players with your maxed out 200 CA, 200 PA. Remember that? And then I had to use regular players, and our team's target was Champions League, right? And then because I was matched up against all these super players, and I had to use regular players, I couldn't finish in the Champions League one season, and my players, right down to the youth team, were unhappy. I couldn't find one happy player in the club. And when your youth team players are unhappy with you, you obviously have a problem, right? I ignored them. The entire season, they were all of them were unhappy. I said, okay, be unhappy. I don't care. What happened? Nothing happened. We still finished. The next season, we finished in the Champions League. In fact, I think we came in second, right? And then those unhappy players were still at the club. But now they were happy. Trust me, man, in this game. Yeah, we just had too much fun. You know, no point worrying about players and all that stuff. Just do whatever you want. Just don't make promises you can't keep. Like things like, oh, when I sign you, I'll play you as a winger. And then you go change tactics every week like me. Okay, look at this. Okay, Diaby is focus play on the left, right? So we got this focus play, except Diaby has decided like an idiot to come to the left when he should be going to the right. Wait, is it Diaby is supposed to be the left? No, yeah, Diaby. Yeah, bloody useless, dumb face. Go back to your right position. You look at Diaby. Oh, man. He's too excited. Huh? Apparently, he wants to do McGinn's job. Okay, let's go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's berate our boys because we consider a shot. Okay, we got two volantes, which is kind of crazy, but hey, man. And there's no point doing fun. Oh, what a goal from Igor. Igor with his strike. Can you imagine if I actually had a play? Oh my God, I got to sign Igor soon. I got to look for Igors. I got to look for the whole clan of funky names. All right, go. Okay, does this make any sense? We got two volantes charging up the pitch. I got libero. The libero's going. Hey, hello, is there anybody here who's going to help me with the ball? That's why it's not working. Okay. All right, so we got to put a DM on support because there's no way this libero is happy today. So he's got like, yeah, I want to bring the ball out, but I need some help. So everyone's running away. The libero's like, hey, come back here. So that's when things don't work. Yeah, so we done the whole first 10 minutes. We don't want to lose the game. Because I change tactics every game. Because, you know, it's only fun when Football Manager is played in an insane way. Okay. Oh, there goes Ollie Watkins with the ball. He's gone. He shoots. Ollie Watkins. What's role is he playing? Pressing forward. Okay. So he can be he's very close to play strike defenders. So when you play a pressing forward, right, he's always going to be closer to the defenders, right? So he's always going to be tighter on defenders, unlike an advanced forward. And an advanced forward is more likely to stay between strikers, not on a defender. So the advanced forward is going to stand between defenders. The pressing forward is more likely to be closer to one defender, so that if that defender makes a mistake, he's on him like a flash. So you can play both roles quite well with pass into space, because just means that he's on the shoulder of the player if he's going to makes a mistake, and then if he needs to run into space, so you need to play with good decision making for that. So sometimes, you know, between the two roles, really, you can choose both. They both are really, really... In fact, for the first FM12, I'll tell you a little known secret about me. From FM12 to FM23, I think, right? My go-to role was a pressing forward. I always play the pressing forward. Always. I love the role. That is like my top-rated goal. Top-rated role. Poacher, you hardly ever saw me use it, right? Yeah. Pressing forward was the role I loved. Now in since FM24, I've been more likely to try more interesting roles, because it gives you more interesting tactical variations. Poacher is the best for tactical, getting other players involved. Look at the Raumdauter. You know, he got wide, but yet to create something for everyone. Raumdauter is picking up. Why? I don't think Diaby is a good Raumdauter. Okay, Raumdauters need good decision making. Where to be? Oh, that is not one. That's when we need Neymar is a Neymar. I actually read that as it was written. Neymar. But look, you can make anyone a libero in Football Manager. Okay, you can make Neymar a libero. Yeah, liberos are the easiest role in the world. Anyone can play them. Seriously, you can put a Neymar. It will work. It will work. All right, this is obviously not working against Chelsea. So what we're going to do is we're going to go take Tyro Mings out, and then we'll go full Monty on this tactic. Okay, go full attack. Full back attack. Yeah, all attack. Don't defend. Okay, so now what we'll do is we just play a bit safer. We put a ball-playing defender, but we get the fullbacks to come up the pitch. This guy is going to go around the camel's ass, but this guy is going to, he's just going to come up the pitch as a fullback. Okay, so we'll put more players into the attacking third. This will cramp the Raumdauter's style a bit. Poacher was absolutely broken the 2000, but it didn't. They die off into... No, Mr. Jin. Poacher is D-roll. FM24, FM23 was the absolute best role in the game. In fact, FM24, the best striker role for me is the Poacher. Because the Poacher is way better in nearly all setups. Because the Poacher, when he doesn't get the ball, first, he stays in the defenders. Stays next to the defenders. Aggressive roles like Poachers are great. Secondly, he links up very well with other roles that are coming into the area. So if you've got roles that are coming, attacking the area, the Poacher is going to do really well because he is the reason why they get space. The pressing forward, all he does is on one defender, right? But the Poacher is on two defenders. He basically holds the space like, where two defenders are. So those defenders have to keep their eye on the Poacher. This gives space to other roles that are attacking the zone. That's why the Poacher is very, very good. It's the best for me, the best. Especially if you want to create a tactic where other guys are coming in to score goals. So if you are looking at making a Raumdauter work, and this is something that's happened consistently for us, every time I wanted to use a Raumdauter, right, in my tactics, I'll go with a Poacher. I always go with the Poacher because the Poacher is going to be, hey, holding hands with the two defenders. The Ramdaughter is coming in unmarked. Because the Ramdaughter will have, because the defenders are going to have their hands full with the Poacher. No, in this particular case, we're using the Trequartista, right? So now we're going to change this to what I think is way better. We got okay, now we're going to make it even more like we got to use an AP on support. We've got double APs now. That's a bit much, but never mind. Moving to Charles Rome from position. He's going to drop deep, so it gives us a 3-man midfield. Now we're going to have a 4-man midfield. Because the Libero is number 4. Okay, so now we're going to have a very packed midfield. So we're going to create lots of space for everyone now. Because the fullbacks are coming up, right? So one fullback is coming up at least. Not the other one, I think. Wait, let me think. I'm not sure. Wait, I forgot already. Wait, check. Edit? No, they don't let you edit. Okay, never mind. I know I made a change, but I can't remember what the change is. Hey, Intari, now you. No, this is not me with post-alcohol. That was yesterday night. Yesterday night I was just having too much. Okay, let's make something. AP now doesn't make sense anymore, right? Literally, this game is all about when the roles don't make sense. Which moron put Rome for position to this guy? Must have been me. Okay. Yeah, let's not make him Rome. Okay, let's just go. All right, we got Ramdaughter here, AP. We don't need. Oh, let me think. Okay, let me think. Volante is coming up. AP is going to end up here. No. Okay, AP is always going to end up here. No. Volante is coming this way. Then what I'll do is I'll play DM on support for fun. Okay, make this guy the Segundo Volante on support. He comes up. AP is going to shoot here. Double AP, so that's stupid. Okay, we give you wing. So now we're giving width to this side. Okay, so we're stretching that team further and further to the left. No hangover, none whatsoever. I'm a very rare hangover guy. Unless I pass out after alcohol, which has happened before. When I mix my alcohol. Like it was the one night I was doing whiskey, tequila, beer, and wine. That was enough to send me to knockout land. I haven't done that for a long time. That was only about last year. And the only reason why I did that was because I was drinking in my neighbor's house. And even then, I needed help coming home. Because I refused to go to the house. I was heading towards my tree house. So my neighbor was like, dude, seriously, you're not climbing your tree house like this. I said, yeah, I'm climbing my tree house. So he was like, no, you cannot go to your tree house. So he was trying to keep me away from climbing a tree house. So it's like, I probably die, falling off a tree house. So yeah, okay. Tree house is meant for the kids. It's just beside the river with the crocodile. Yeah. We got a tree house for children, which is next to a river with a crocodile. Hey, look, guys, we live in crocodiles here. Okay, look, we were drinking with this girl last night. Okay, she goes fishing in a river. Okay, and she intentionally fishes in a river with crocodiles because she's after this particular prawn. Okay, which only comes when there are crocodiles there. I'm like, oh God. We got a lot of insane people here. A lot of the outdoor people here are quite okay. They're willing to take risks. So yeah, having a tree house next to a river with a crocodile is pretty normal around here. Yeah, my neighbor had a bloody crocodile coming into his house. Yeah, so I ain't got no hangover. I'm just in that late night, mood. So tomorrow, can you believe it? My friends want me to play tennis tomorrow morning. Apparently, I've got foot pain, or I reached the age now. I've got to do more exercises, for foot exercises. So I was thinking maybe I go to the gym instead of going to. So I have to go to the gym. I've got to work on strength because once you reach like my age, right, it's so important to do a lot of mobility and strength exercises. Yeah. Maybe I should do a video of myself doing exercises, the kind of exercises that I do. See whether anybody else is willing to do it at my age. I'm sure there are, you know, a lot of super fit. I mean, I won't call myself super fit, but guys who are fitter than me, who also drink alcohol and smoke cigars and cigarettes. So I'm a very bad influence, I tell you right now. I'm like the ultimate bad influence. Oh man, my foot hurts, but I'll be fine. So okay, this obviously didn't work, right? So we can. That's why I'm talking so much. I'm distracting you guys, hoping you laugh. But obviously, none of you are laughing because all of you are watching the stream, and there's no movement in the chat. So obviously, this is not working. Okay. So I was trying to distract you all with humor. Obviously, it wasn't funny enough. Okay. Because amazingly, nobody reacted to the crocodile. Either that or all of you are very serious about children's welfare. This guy has built a treehouse next to a crocodile. Okay, so we're not watching the stream anymore, man. All right, so we got AP, right? So let's try and make this AP work, okay? So let's do AP properly. Okay, we're going to do a shadow striker. We're going to do an advanced one. So we're going to give this AP lots of roles to it. So we got this, okay, we'll give winger with width. Okay, so what's going to happen now? Oh, better still, we do double APs. How's that for a plan? Okay, AP, two guys attacking. All right, so we got two APs and an advanced one and a shadow striker attacking. Right? Okay, then we get these two to be regular DMs. Nothing too fancy. Okay, so we just give them DM positions, so let them be fair. We put liberos here. One libero comes up. This guy is taking more risks. This guy is taking fewer risks. Okay, all right. So you got these two going through the middle. What we'll do is we'll get them to do hand holding. So Poacher and shadow striker, they will hand hold. You know why? Because Poacher's not going to try anything funky. Now notice this, now fairly wide, right? Go a bit one notch lower. Because I want the ball to go wide, but I don't want all the attacks to come from the flanks, because I just want to build up play. So focus play down, focus, underlap. Okay, widest player now holds out the ball looking for inside runs. Yeah, only two inside runs are these guys, hopefully with this. Now, libero will come up higher, okay. Hold shape, definitely not. Counter, distribute, will pump the ball up quickly, pass into space as a priority, although the only player that is really going to be attacking the space is this guy. All right, then we'll change it. Now we make it sure that we guarantee that a space attack. Okay, so pass into space. Focal point is this guy, so they'll go for it. Distribute to the flanks. We got players there. That's our next tactic. With two AP. So that means now we've got balls, focus play. That means the midfielders are always going to look at using the flanks. Okay. We're using inverted fullbacks because we don't want to expose our defenders, meaning our backline. Yeah, so that's the goal. Let's see if this works. That's the goal here. We'll see if this works. Okay. Again, AP is a wide role, right? So we don't have to roam. Let's not get into roam. So this guy, the movement of this role is going to be around this area. Okay. So he's going to just drop. But because we got focus play down the left, but we're also using it only an inverted fullback. So this DM might come up to here, and then what we don't want to do is too high a tempo. So we'll drop the tempo to lower because we need more players involved. You look at this. This guy is not exactly running past him. We have an underlap will increase his positioning, but also affect him because he's going to hold out the ball now. So he's going to look for runs, and the only two runs are happening in these two guys. So let's see. So you got McGinn, Tillemans, and Diaby. Diaby ain't exactly your poster boy for playing those kind of balls, right? What was it? Zanilo passing vision. Ain't got gone. Diaby? Oh, he's worse. Bailey? This is bad. Ramsey? Ramsey can play on the left, but this tactic suffers from this team. This team got problems playing this kind of funky tactics. Because you need players. Even though I always say, right, I just want the movement, right? But you still need that, like certain roles, like playmaker to do the job you want him to do. So our goal here is now to use these playmakers on the flanks to basically, we want them to actually play these kind of balls from these kind of positions in here. Like something like what inverted wingers will do. Yeah, exactly. I'm banking on this guy making runs into the area, shoot from distance, come in, score. Occasionally play one pass to Ollie Watkins, go on and score. So that's exactly what I want. Yeah. So I basically just want this guy tinging the balls to these guys. Okay. That's it. Very risky because I'm not getting these two guys involved yet. So we're playing with what I've done is I've created a safe start to my tactic, right? Okay. I created a safe start. No, positive also is not too risky. Passing will be relatively short. But guess what? Distribute quickly, right? The goalkeeper has the ball. He's a sweeper keeper. He goes distribute quickly, kick the ball towards the flanks. So the goalkeeper's job, really, when he gets the ball, right, is to do this. He gets the ball, his kick is going this way. Right, so that's okay. So the Ollie Watkins goes wide. When he does that, what does the shadow striker do? He takes center. So fine. Okay, we keep it simple. Again, I don't want to play our defense because I ain't gonna bother with hey, you know what? Let's mosey on. I don't need these guys dropping very much deeper. Although I can if I'm playing against a team that I want to draw. So maybe in this particular case, let's try that out. Okay, we draw Tottenham Hotspur onto us so that we can hit between the lines because that's where our players are. So in this particular case, we play our defense. So I'm gonna try that, and I hope to God it works. But see, this is how I think about player defense. Player defense, yeah, I'm going to draw them in and I'm going to try and hit them behind the lines. If my APs get the ball, hallelujah. If they don't, then I'm in trouble. Because if they can press me, when I have the ball, I'm in trouble. So in this particular case, we still have a sweeper keeper playing out from the back when he's distributing the ball to the flanks, right? But it doesn't mean that okay. I'm using player defense. So when there's a goal kick, right? Or anything else, we're going to play from goalkeeper to the defenders out to the flanks. But if the ball goes back to the goalkeeper, it doesn't mean that I'm going to go goalkeeper, defender, because I got distribute quickly for the goalkeeper himself. So the goalkeeper, when he has the ball, he could just kick it long because he's told to go to the flank. So it's like I have two patterns of play when I have the ball in the defensive third. So AP looking for chances, can't find any, so he plays the ball back. That's fine. Tyrone Mings. Oh, that was a nice little attempt from McGinn. Again, good defending. Again, Mings now with the ball. Looks for Tielemans, shadow striker. Looks, and it's a beautiful pass from the playmaker on the right. Did you guys see that? Oh, this is lovely. This is what we wanted and we saw it. Okay, so here is Tielemans with the ball, right? So this is our playmaker and this is our playmaker. So the goal of these two playmakers is really simple. Okay, I just want them to play these kind of passes into the zone. Now, we've got Tielemans. Tielemans also has got killer balls, right? So occasionally might do the same thing. That's because you got pass into space, right? Okay. Right, so we play pass into space. Chances are some of these players are just going to do it, and if they got a trait, more likely to do it. So Tielemans plays this pass to Buendia. Buendia is a playmaker. I expect him to go looking for him. Watkins, right? So he comes in and he plays that pass. Exactly the pass we wanted the playmaker to do. So this is when you can play playmakers in a setup, right? So if I wanted to play playmakers in the AM tier, you're thinking about how I can use them to release attacking options. So you don't have, if you don't play with roles like advanced forward attacking the defensive line, you play with a shadow striker attacking the defensive. I mean, shadow strikers are also going to attack the defensive line, but there's at least two players now, right? So it makes no sense. So in the AM tier, one of the most effective roles that you can use on the flanks are APs, right? Two APs in tactics like the 4-3-3, the 4-2-4, the 4-2-3-1. So all these tactics give you that option. The 4-3-3 is particularly effective because the two APs on the flanks, what will happen is you can actually have a CM on attack and a Mezzala on one side. So you get a very nice dynamic here. So the guy in the center can be an advanced forward, he can be a poacher, he can be a target forward, he can be a pressing forward, it can be any role you pick. Any one of them can work. But here you got APs. So here as well, it can work nicely. So, when you're playing these roles, right, what you really want is, if you're going to play APs on the left and the right, you got to think about things like, how do I get the ball to the AP, right? So the way you get the ball to the AP is first, you're attacking with, this is where you start. This is the most important instruction. If you make it narrow, you're not prioritizing the AP. You're prioritizing the DMs and the guy in the middle of your AMC. So if you go narrow, you're prioritizing these three guys. But if you go wide like this, it's 50-50. Now I'm prioritizing them or the flanks. If you go max, I'm prioritizing the APs and the fullbacks. But because I'm not using fullbacks in my tag, I'm using inverted fullbacks, I don't want to take the chance of like these guys playing riskier passes, right? So I rather 1, 2, and then 3. But if you wanted to make them very direct, like one pass, like the ICBM, like from him to him to him, then you go maximum width, right? But you use fullbacks. So we got that pattern going. So that the other thing that you need for these kind of tactics to work well, especially if you're using APs like this on the flanks. Any role you're using on the flanks where you want them to create for the opposite flank, you need focus play. Now the downside is, if I do it like this, I'm going for these two only. So that means I'm using focus play on the left and the right. That means I'm aiming for these two. If you use focus play down one left side and you opt, I'm going to do overload this side, then you put an attacking duty here. But then you have to think about this role then. So if you wanted to create like a lopsided attack, like I want the whole attack to favor the left side because the defenders are weaker there, for example, then what you could do is you play this guy as a winger or an AP. Play this guy as a you play this guy as an AP, you play this guy as an AMA, or you play this guy as an APA because he's going to roam, right? Play this guy as a winger, this guy as a winger, or inside forward or around dot, or whoever the goal scorer is supposed to be. So you focus play here, goal scorer here. This guy's support duty, so he drops into this pocket. This guy should be a fullback on attack. He can go around. Then you create a massive overload on this side of the pitch, creating goal scoring opportunities for these two. So that's how you do them, essentially. Like if I were to look at this AI tactic, right? What do I see? Okay, I see the Volante coming up. AP is on the shift, right? So their tactic is heavy on the right side for creation. So they are trying to create on the right for the Richarlison and Son Heung-min to be goal scorers. So they are going to be pushing everybody to this side of the pitch. So when they get to if they have a focus play here and a wing back, see these wing backs coming around? This is actually a very well designed AI tactic. But their vulnerability is this zone here. This player. So their left back is creating space for my AP. Because he's playing as an inverted wing back. So I could change this guy to like a winger right now and totally destroy this role. Because if I play the winger right now, this role is in trouble. Because here I will have to defend. So then Richarlison becomes less of a threat. So this is how I would look at another role, another setup, right, to take advantage of it. So that's what you can do. Like here we created like a pretty, like, you see where Richarlison, see the ball is always coming to Richarlison, right? So if I see that, like, if for me, right, when I'm playing these kind of games, I see that, I mean, I have to react. I'll go into the game and go like, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to take Richarlison out of the game. I'm going to take this combination out of the game. Because his Volante is going to, now he's getting tired. So my reaction to that would be a role change straight away. So I'll immediately go into this. He becomes winger on attack. I maintain this. I get stretched. I'll leave Buendia here, but he'll start from a wider position, tearing this combination apart. There's just one potential option if you wanted to, you know. I believe in tweaking tactics to take advantage of AI formations. I do that quite regularly in most of my games. Ladislav Havelka, welcome, man. Welcome to the stream. Miles Power was distracted with the humor. Hello, Dalji. If I don't want to use touchline, sure, delegate them or not delegate, not use them or not use them at all is probably the best option because honestly, it's just for immersion. I just berate for the fun of it. Whenever they miss a goal, that's about it. If you don't want to use the touchline shots, don't use them. You're not gonna, even SI don't know what they do or how they work. That's why they're gonna take them off for FM 24 or 25. So, you know, read into that what you will and make all the noise you want on the forums. Yeah, so again, you can see what's happening, right? on that flank. So I think I better change. Okay, let's take out this dynamic that's happening here. So first we can destroy this dynamic. This inverter winger is our right flank, so it's on the left flank, right? So we leave our left flank, make them all work to create goals here. Okay, what I'm going to do now is going to tell this guy to be a winger. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of Buendia now being a winger. I could actually change this guy to AP and support. Now I got to change. No, let's not change too many things, okay? All right, let's leave it alone first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the focus play down the right and the underlap. Because that will mean that my player on the right flank no longer holds up the ball. So if they get the ball, they're just going to use the space. So I can actually decide to play this guy as a winger on attack, man. Okay, so we are slowly morphing the tactic. Okay, all right. So what we're going to do now is going to look at this role and say, okay, fine, let's put some pressure on that zone. So now winger on attack. So this is a focus play area. Right, so Libero now is not going to surge up. I'm just going to put Libero on defense. In fact, we could ask him to go up as a volante. The shadow striker will not end up in this zone. Okay, so you push this guy as a volante now on support. So he's going to go up, right? Now this Libero is going to come out, right? What's going to happen to Shadow? He's going to shift here. No? So guess who's going to have more problems? Your opposition, that side that I'm worried about, where Richarlison. I want to put, so my left side is pushing up. So they are, wait, am I pushing my left side up or my right side up? Better check first. No? Hey, hold on. Am I pushing the right side up or the wrong side up? Wait, let me think. Wait, I'm pretty certain I'm doing something wrong. Hey, stop. Wait, let me think about this. I want to attack this zone. So I should be attacking, this side should be, the right side should be attacking and the left side should be building up. So that if the left side is building up, the right side is in trouble, correct? Am I right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm a bit confused. This is what happens when you tweak tactics, huh? And you are looking at the other formation going, I want to do something, I want to feel like I'm a real manager. Yeah. Don't need it. Thank you, SI, for whatever you're doing, okay? But please, make sure FM26 makes me feel like a real manager. If it doesn't, if I feel like I'm using a bloody touchstone iPad to communicate with my players because you think it's realistic, you better make sure that them tactics work fine. Because I ain't gonna play the game if the tactics. I tell you right now, and I say it very clearly, if FM26 is shambolic, I'm gonna say it because when FM17 was released, I was the harshest critic of the game online, live, in the forums. I said it on air that the UI was designed by a non-gamer. You know how badly it went down? That went down very badly, Because I'm not only am I a content creator, I'm also a moderator on the forums. I have my name in the my name was in the game. So I am very, very particular about certain things about the game. I can't help it. I know that because there's a downside of playing the game for so many years. You're very passionate about the game. I guess everybody is because sometimes you gotta be. I think that was the one time I let my criticism get the better of me. I let my emotions run with me because after I typed it, I realized, man, that is really harsh. But that was because that's the only way I could criticize the person who made the ultimate decision. Because I was hoping that the person who actually did the coding wasn't going to get into trouble. Because usually the ultimate decision is never by the coder. It's about somebody else that's in a other position, and they are the ones that made the ultimate decision, right? So sometimes, for example, right, why are our Nugent phases that bad in the game? It's because of a limitation from about 10 years ago. That is why our Nugent phases are so bad. Because 10 years ago, they had to create this. They had to create the 3D engine, right? So it's because of the 3D engine that the Nugent faces look like crap. Actually, if you break the game down and you go into the actual game itself and look at all the faces and you look at all the options that they have, the faces shouldn't look that bad. It's because of things like, okay, we have no choice, but because the computers aren't that good, this, we have to make a decision that we can't give them fantastic new gen faces. I agree. The game has taken me through dark times, and he's brought me dark times too. I tell you something, but this game, I love the game so much because, I mean, my first wife divorced me for the game. My second wife not giving me grief about the game. Okay, so I mean, I've had some dark times that have come with this game. Yeah, and I've been okay. You know, like I went through a really bad phase in my life as well, where the game did so much for me, and I appreciate everything that's happened as a result of me playing the game. So, I mean, I love the game. Yeah. I love the game because it helped keep my sanity in check at one point too, and also because I ended up I went through a phase in my life, right, which wasn't very good, and then you guys, I mean, this content creation and becoming part of the Discord community, and you know, I had people come up to me and say what a difference the videos were making, because I honestly didn't know. I didn't know. Especially when I quit playing the game. Like, all of a sudden I stopped playing the game, FM16, right? You know, I stopped at 17, 18. There was no content coming up from me at all. Yeah. So the forums, I wasn't even posting anything on the forums. Then I came back and people started reaching out to me. A lot of people reached out to me about coming back into the game. And I didn't realize at that point the impact it was having. And that's when I realized, hey, it's good to feel that it's making an impact. But not on top of that, those guys who have been, you were my rock, man. So for a lot of you guys, you were my rock. You kept me going through the bad times. And this is the thing, right? I think the community that supports me is especially solid. I mean, I'm not in it for the money, right? I'm not, no. If I was in it for the money, you probably see me popping a video every day. I am in it. I mean, I need the money to help pay the bills. That's for sure. I mean, who doesn't, right? So I stopped coming, and this is the only thing that supports me financially, right now. You know, but come hell and high water, you guys were there, and you guys are able to accept me when, hey, you know what? I'm taking a week off. I had enough of this Mickey Mouse. I can't play Football Manager because it just doesn't excite me. Or I need some time to get my sanity back. I'm playing Black Myth Wukong for the next 3 weeks. You were there. That's the thing. That is the thing that I love most about you guys, though. Mr. Jin, thanks for the 1,000 bits, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. But it's not, I don't stream for the bits. I don't stream for this. I don't stream for that. No, I stream for the company now. Right? Like Kim Ping, Moni, FM, Jung, all you guys were on the stream all that. Mr. Jin, you guys have popped up the stream. We talk, we chat. You know, sometimes, you know, there are days when I'm full of garbage coming around. I have to admit, okay, that's I look back at the past, though, the streams when I first did the streams, right? I was like, I wasn't sure, I was shy. I remember my first videos I did, there was no camera. I remember the first live stream I had, I was an iMac. I was streaming with an iMac. I still remember those days, right, when I was streaming with an iMac. I had 2 iMacs. I mean, I was working in a job that paid a ton of money, okay, so I could afford 2 iMacs. Now I can't afford an iMac. I'm like, why didn't you have iMacs anymore? I said, no, I'm not buying any more iMacs. They're bloody expensive, man. I'd rather buy the computer where I can just take out the graphics card and put one new one in. I'm buying another iMac for the rest of my life. So they now become great play. And then there was a flood. I don't know if you guys remember the flood. Remember the flood? I told you guys that it was, one of the water pipes in the ceiling broke, right? And it broke right over the 2 iMacs. So those 2 iMacs are not the most glorified placeholders of all time. Hey, we did it. I mean, we created some goal-scoring chances with this, right? Like I said, for me, right, when you do a tactic like this, when you do this, it is extremely one-dimensional. Because you're going, hey, you know what? Let's use the shadow striker AP. But the best way is actually to do like AP here and then go like some role here on AM support. Now you got a tripartite. Right? So you got this really cool diamond, right? You got a diamond here. That's when this guy becomes a better goal scoring option. So it goes like, this is when you can go, I want a Ramdaughter, inside forward, Trequartista, winger attack. Up to you. That's when this role, that's when your APs become really, really nice to use. So this center, this role, right? You got like all these roles. We covered all of them right today, right? We covered all of them. So this works really well. What about wide target forwards? Oh, this is the one. This is the one I really find a bit annoying. But here we'll do it this way. Okay, so now we go to the center is quite straightforward. Okay, so now we go up midfield. So we're now playing 4-3-3. So what we're going to do now is going to create a wide target for him. We're going to give him a bit of a zip. So he's going to hold up the ball. But, you know, these guys hold up the ball, right? So their targets are going to deliver from back to front quite quickly. So we're going to give him I guess what we'll do is, if he goes wide, so guess what? We want somebody who's not too far. Creative maybe. Mezzala attack. Great combination, I think. Because holds out the ball, this guy is going to come. He's going to attack this zone. See this area here? Mezzala attacks are lovely in this. They're going to operate in the half channel. So they're operating in this channel. Okay? So this is the channel they will operate in. So they go in and they go like, they attack this. What do you think this does? Make space for other roles to attack on the other side, right? So we got advance forward, Ramdaughter. Okay, fine. We'll take this guy box to box. So he's going to come up this side. Or maybe I'll just leave box to box. I was toying with the idea of ball winning midfielder, but we'll do that later. Okay, so we go roaming playmaker. We don't play roaming playmaker. Let me think. I love roaming playmakers. Every time I get a chance to, I'll play a roaming playmakers. Because in this kind of a setup, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will leave, we'll make a DLP on support. Or rather a DM on support, because I don't know any other better. I don't have any other better ideas at the moment. Okay, so we got inverted fullback here. Here we'll play a fullback on attack to go around the camel's ass. Then we'll play a ball playing defender here. So that's a orthodox setup, right? You know, so fullback is gonna go around him. Wide target man holding out the ball. There's a focus play now on this side. Underlap, widest player holding up the ball, looking for inside runs. Mezzala is going to give it to us. Okay, so we got, see, this is how we make the roles. We think about the role movements, right? So, widest player holds out the ball. This guy is coming this way. Then this guy is going this way. Then what we really want is this guy going around, maybe, you know. Wide target for us is going to have plenty of love here. So, he can do a deep diagonal. So, what we're going to do is we're going to play a bit fairly wide now. So, we're going to encourage the use of the flanks a lot more instead of just going through the middle. So we got a basically a kind of a setup where when he goes, we're going to have 3. So this guy might come wider. We just want to pay attention to that. Okay, so we got all these players here. 4 days time. So what kind of tempo do you think this tactic will do well with? A low tempo, we might wait for too many players to come up the pitch, right? That's the problem with a low tempo now. Because this could be, because 4-3-3 is actually a very good defensive system. So what we're going to do is we're going to play on the highest tempo. So we don't want to waste too much time on the ball. We want to get the ball to move from back to front relatively quickly. So we're not doing pass into space. We're not playing our defense. We're going to use pass into space, but we're going to go maximum width because we want the flanks. We want to use the flanks as much as possible. So much higher defense. Our fullback is going to support the attacking transitions. We don't want to be trigger pressing. We don't want to be happy trigger pressers because then everybody is going to leave their zones. Step up more is a defensive. Step up more is to play the offside trap. Now, I think it can help in our case because we only have 2 defenders. We don't really protecting the flanks, so that's what we're going to do. So we got this guy helping us defend the flanks, I think. Okay, so we got this. So, okay, this wide target forward. He needs to have jumping reach. He needs strength. The most important thing he probably needs is good decision making. And Zanilo is about the he's not good enough for that position. I'm sorry. McGinn can't play as God, we're making a tag team. We don't even have players for this. Ollie, what about you, man? Watkins, you have decision making. Okay, I'll tell you what, Watkins, you just come up here. You got height. At least you got height. Yeah. The rest of this team basically ain't got no ideas. Okay. All right, let's go, man. Oh man, let's check it. Honestly, Dalji, I remember when I first played this game, I had no clue about anything about tactics and instructions. It came to a point where I quit FM17. What? Really? Then came back FM21 and came across your videos, and since then the rest is history. Like to chat to you about life, hear you about politics and football. It's helped me a lot through the tough times I've had throughout the years. I've also realized Discovery has been such a joy and beauty. FM Bang, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. That is so beautiful to hear. Chico, I started following you back when Addicted to FM was a thing. That and Cleon was my favorite stuff. Wow! Really? That's nice to hear, man. That is so nice to hear. Thank you very much, man. Addicted to FM was a long time ago, right? Yeah. It was like a blog I used to write. That was a long time ago. I stopped writing blogs. Yeah. Because things, I think I'd better do them as videos. I'm too old to write things. Now I write the guidebook. That's about it. Yeah. So that one, I'm still thinking about how FM26 one is going to go. I haven't seen the game. Yeah. So that's going to be quite funky. So let's see what happens here. Okay. So look at this, right? Look at the white target forward is. This is the white target man on support. He ain't running, right? Look at that. He's just holding. He's just going to hold his position. He's going to support him. If he gets the ball, he is going to look for others. That's why you remember. So that's why we use the fullback. So the fullback now goes around him. See, the reason why I use the fullback on attack, right, is so that we have multiple options down this flank because we're going to focus play. If I use them as a fullback on support, then the white target forward is going to get the ball first. He's going to hold up the ball and he's going to look for other players. And that's when he only has one option, the Mezzala. And we are playing on the highest tempo, sorry. We're supposed to be playing on the highest tempo possible. We're supposed to be playing on the highest tempo possible. All right, so here we go. Douglas Luiz. And then we got, okay, we're going for the highest possible tempos. Okay. Whether this works or not, I'm not too sure. We have to watch the transitions between the white target forward and the Mezzala. This is the one that I'm paying the most attention to. I know this one is going to work. Fullback is going to go around the camel's ass. But just now, the tempo was a bit too high, right? Okay, so we adjusted the tempo. Now let's watch what happens. You're playing Inter Milan. Okay, thank you very much. Oh no, you poor thing. You were not fast enough. So Douglas Luiz did not get there in time. There we go. Fullback on attack, going around and looks up and okay. And okay. There's some emphasis on the balls going toward the white target. Or you can see that with the crossing. And the priority is to get the ball on the flank. So the fullbacks are doing a lot of the attacking right now. White target, that's great work from the target for a links up play. Again, they're looking for the true pass. Again, it goes up from back to front. Not wasting too much time, right? So that's why it is happening on very high tempos, right? So we got white target forward. We got Ramdauter on the other side as well. So there, the Ramdauter wins the ball. Looks for options. He finds the inverted fullback and it's a simple shot. Okay. Yeah, we're not using a simple Mezzala here. Now let's try something different. Okay. What happens if I slow the pace down, slow the tempo down, but tell this guy now to just play as a inverted fullback. Okay. Let's try something funky. Okay. All right, let's go. White target for attack. Oh, now we got 3 of them. Sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. But then we never learn anything if we don't go looking for disasters. Okay? All right? We have to look for disasters. This game is about looking for the disaster to learn a bit more about the game. The logic I have is inescapable. None whatsoever. Okay, so we got what target for Mezzala attack. Dear Lord, what am I doing? Okay. Why am I confident of setting it out like that? Because I'm using 2 inverted fullbacks. Okay, so because we don't want too many guys defending. Okay, so but a 4-3-3 is in one of the best defensive systems because you got 7 players defending. So now I'm trying to take away the 7 players and have like more players attacking so that I only defend with 4 players now. Like the 4 back 4 and 1 DM. Okay, defending still well. Okay, so we're playing at home. All right, we're gonna leave it. So no, still playing a highest tempo. But the problem when you play pass into space against a back five is possession. So it's very hard for you to keep possession of the ball. So what we're gonna do now, because they're playing a back five, right? We're gonna encourage them to come and close us down with the ball. Okay, so we're going to play out from the back. And the goalkeeper will not be told to distribute to flanks, but instead distribute to center back. So what I'm doing now is very different, right? The style of play has changed. So earlier, I'm just hoofing the ball, right? Now what I'm going to do is the goalkeeper is going to look to pass the ball to these guys. We're going to work the ball up and then go for the flanks straight away. Because the reason why I want to do that is I want to draw that back five out of position. Because right now when I'm attacking them, they're relatively fast to get back into position. And, it leaves me a bit vulnerable. But not too vulnerable because I'm playing a back five. I'm playing a, 4-3-3. So I want to put, because you look at this, Damian has got no pressure on him. Augusto is no pressure. 6 point. Now it's gone down 6.7 immediately. So that's good. So, okay. So there we go. Watkins, nice. Target forward. You see that's how you use the wide target forward. The wide target forward will bring others into play. So the Mezzala comes into play even when he's on attack duty. Now, if I were to set up a situation and go like, hey, you know what? I'm a bit worried about conceding a goal. What would I do? I'll play invite crosses. That way, but now if I invite crosses, it might affect my two white players and they might come back. Okay, so defending well. Moreno with the ball. Watkins now. Oh, beautiful. Ramdauter, absolutely free, but couldn't do anything with the ball. They found a Ramdauter with the pass. It was an excellent ball. There, Moreno now fullback on attack. The wide target for is in support. See, everything now, because I'm playing on the widest width, right, is just going straight to the flanks. So if you play narrows width, it's a different style of football. When you play, when you start messing with width, it's about using the flanks as well as I can. So Buendia had a great chance. He screwed up. Now look at it. Got advanced sword. Buendia, right? Okay. Why don't we do something different? There's nothing wrong with doing this, no? Poacher. Hold on to the two defenders. Let's see what happens to the round out. Again, this is crazy. Most people, when they see this setup, they're going to go like, you shouldn't be playing like this. But it makes sense because this guy is defending and this guy is defending. So these guys are going to look after our flanks. It allows us to actually go, you know what, why don't we get this guy to attack, right? So he's a box-to-box midfielder. It's still a safe role. I don't want too many players attacking here because this Ramdauter is just going to get angry at me. Because everybody's coming into my zone. Oh, let's do this. Okay, so Aston Villa right now, not too bad. We've had 5 shots. The boys aren't playing badly. We just have to get a few of these shots on target. Oh, there goes Ollie Watkins. White target forward again. So we can now play on extended highlights, see a bit more. But this is how you use the roles, on the flanks. Like white target forward, we can use the white target forward like this. There are other ways of using a white target forward. You can also use a white target forward with the CM on attack. Right. You play a white target forward with the CM on attack. But the thing is, because you have to remember, white target forwards are like focal points, or even for crosses. Alright. So this is the reason why I don't play with cutbacks, like low crosses. I rather use like mixed crosses. Can you play short plays at white target forwards? Yes, you can. But then what will happen is they are more effective in mid blocks because then you can you play wide again, but now you're hitting balls into space off a. Okay, when do you use short wide target forwards? Play our defense mid block. That means you're soaking pressure and then you release the pass, right? And then the wide target forward attacks the space. Short players, very fast, nippy, get behind defensive lines really quickly. So we got Poacher now. Poacher is not going to be far from that defender, so the defender is not in trouble. So the defender always has a look at that Poacher. Yeah, so it's not too bad. Yeah, defending. See what I mean? Why it's so nice on playing inverted fullback. So you can play attack duties, so putting pressure on them. Round outer, inverted fullback now goes into the center, finds the wide target forward. What a play! The wide target forward and Mezzala linked up so beautifully. Oh, that was sweet. This is how wide target forwards and Mezzalas are really nice, right? Like even the Mezzala in the inside forward is also very cool. I like that role. I know a lot of people used to criticize me, for that role. I mean, I had a lot of critics when I played Mezzala inside forward, but I played the Mezzala inside forward with a fullback running out from there. It was so magical because the two of them are very creative roles, right? So in the extremely wide setups, right, you can actually get them to open up the other flank. So that's when, so the combinations in the midfield tier, AM tier, you can use quite a few. Wide target forward. Right now, the wide target forward with the Raumdauter is we've opened up all that space for the Raumdauter now. So the question is, the Raumdauter already missed one glorious chance just now. We should have just buried it. So you need a player with good decision making, good off the ball, finishing and composure to be the Raumdauter in this kind of setup. Because if you're depending on him, you better make sure that he can score. Because this is like heavily dependent on that player. Our problem is our Poacher is not the kind of Poacher that I like. Our Poacher is actually very short. Not very short, right? Not very tall. So this tactic which has got like this kind of target, wide target forward. Poachers, you need a Poacher that's tall also. There, our white target forward looking up play. This is why the white target forward is so cool, right? He's so good, bro. And he can be a creative influence. So this is one of the reasons why when I went for the white target forward, I was looking for decision making. Because if the white target forward has got good decision making, then he can play passes that bring others into goal scoring positions. And he can play those kind of passes. So don't play if you play a wide target forward in the lower leagues, right? And say you're playing it in Wanrama South or whatever, you can still use a wide target forward. As long as it's got some decent, as long as the attributes are decent relative to the league. Yeah. Only problem is in a 4-3-3 like this, I'm sorry, yeah. You better have a lot of players, a lot of midfielders, because you're gonna have to change quite a few of them. No? That's the only downside of this setup, because you ain't got midfielders means you're in trouble, nobody can like save the day for your team. Gotta play 3 months or so 3 fellas there. These are 4-3-3s you gotta change. Most of the time I'm changing all 3 of them and one guy on the flanks. If you want to keep winning games. So look, so far okay. 4-3-3s are solid, right? Defensively they can be quite solid. But right now, like, if I was to hold on to this lead, what would I change? Okay, a bit late now to talk about that, but we consider to go. But if I want to hold on to the lead, what I would have done is I would have changed my tactic. I would have gone right target forward on support, so he drops deep, right? And then I would have gone advance forward in the final third. Okay, so I'll just do it. Okay, so I'll just do this right now. Advance forward now. Wide target forward on support. Okay. Now the libero is on defend duty, so we still maintain the same. Mezzala is still on the tank. Everyone Raumdauter is still doing this. Width is still there. Tempo is not. I bring it down 1 notch so we're not running off like crazy all the time. Play our defense might invite pressure, right? Because right now I've already scored a goal. Why would I want to invite pressure? So I go back to doing what I was doing earlier. Distribute the flanks, okay? Distribute quickly, okay? And hold shape. Check this out. We're holding shape, bro. So when the goalkeeper doesn't have the ball, the rest of the team is passing the ball between them. Okay. We still got pass into space, which is quite risky, right? So we just okay, we'll tweak it slightly. Okay, so we'll just take this out. But we go to these guys and tell him take more risks. Because your effect is passing. And so they want movement and passing. Okay, all right. And then we'll come inside here. We'll leave this alone since he's got taking more risks. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So we only got one fella now taking more risks. I added that PI to the white target forward so he can play those risky passes. Oh. Oh, the other thing I remembered, I was just thinking what else I can do. No more step up. We play invite cross now. Play the offside trap. We got libero, so we go drop the defensive line so my back line doesn't go up too high. Okay, but now invite crosses. It means these guys might drop back. Ball winning midfielder is fun in this tactic also. Yeah. Oh, hits the post. Oh man, come on. These guys, we could have beaten. We were actually comfortably handling Inter Milan. But now I'm just tweaking it, no? Because now I'm tweaking the tactic so that they have to come up. They are actually to come up the pitch. Okay, they have to come up the pitch. No? So I'm gonna go balance. Okay, white. Okay, to get done. Everything is done right. The standards are fine. Whole shape. We have the ball. Okay. Yep. That's it. Okay. So I'm just gonna like pass the ball. That's it. They're definitely gonna try and win the game. Okay, so we'll take it. We will not gonna go panic. I say don't panic, lah. Tyrone Mings. What the hell's wrong with you? Libero went up there trying to score goals again. Now Ramsey with the ball. Tielemans, hey, Raumdauter! You don't want to give the ball to Raumdauter because he's advanced forward suddenly, correct? Yeah. I forgot I changed it to advanced forward, right? It was a poacher, right? Different. But the movement, now you see a lot of movement patterns, no? There are plenty of great content. This is one of the best. Thank you. Oh, Zinio, thanks you, man. Thank you for popping in to say that. Thank you very much. So, if you're looking at all these changes, right, you can make roundouters work in this game, but the key is always going to be width and focus play. And you can do all kinds of funky things with your tactic, you know. You just don't have to. Don't. First thing you have to do, right, Football Manager, is don't go reading about. Okay, the first thing you should do. I mean, this is me. I know a lot of people are probably gonna knock my head for this. If a guide out there tells you this is the only way you should be playing this role, you should stop and try it out yourself. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Because you know, people put a lot of effort into writing stuff. You know what I mean? Right? And I'm the one that says go and try it out first, then figure it out. Because I think that's the best way to learn. I am like that, you know. I have to do things myself. Otherwise, I get very. That's the only way to learn. Only way to learn, what, right? My kids, I force them to do the same stuff. They come to me and I go, Dad, what about this? I say, go and figure it out yourself. Just don't blow up the house while you're doing it. I mean, overall, I thought the tactic was fine, right? So we did play quite well. We made a lot of changes along the way just to show things. But we should have won this game, hands down. We had a lot of good chances. Right? The Raumdauter was the one that we wanted to release. He kept getting into good positions. The Raumdauters were doing really well with this setup. So there's so many ways, right? So I wanted to go like the first one. This is the one that I like the most. This setup is the one I like because this is the I'm gonna round this side of the pitch. Okay. So if you wanted to do like Poacher, then the Poacher will be in between the two defenders or the single defender will hold them, then this guy is just attacking that zone. Right? So because the fullback is going around this way, you can definitely draw the central defender and the other defender and the wing back. There's three players you pull to one side of the pitch. And the Mezzala, guarantee you bring the DM along as well. So there's be four fellas coming. Right? You were using only these roles to pull those players. So 1, 2, 3 can pull 4 players out of position. This guy is going to take care of 1 or at least 2 players. That's how you get the Raumdauter into goal scoring positions. Raumdauters can score a lot of goals. A lot of goals in Football Manager. But you got to be able to move a team to one side. And you need to, like just now when I was doing the earlier one, I was looking at how the AI was attacking me. So sometimes when I'm playing Football Manager, I know this is taking the game to another level. And I'm pretty certain that most of you are fairly intelligent people. I've had people suggest to me, I mean, I'm not in the camp that believes that you should keep things simple for other people. I think that the community as a whole is a pretty educated community of football critics. Okay, you know what you see. So giving you all more options allows you to think more creatively and critically. So you can see more patterns on the football pitch, right? So the way I create the tactic is I want you guys to have the option when you're playing the game. That's all. Yeah. So yeah, if there is no like okay, the only combination that you don't play the game, and this is what I will say is a rule, okay, because it's trash. It's completely the worst combination in the game. This is hands down the worst combination in the game. Hands down. Halfback, libero. What is this? You don't play halfback and libero. I tried this in during the beta. At first it looked quite interesting. This guy dropping, this guy going up. Then I realized very quickly something else was also a problem. If this guy drops, you need to play a ball playing defender. But this libero is going to go up right when you have the ball. This guy is dropped, right? All you're doing is swapping these two position players around. It's like you're telling Kamara, I want to be a defender. You're telling Mings, I want to be a DM. The problem happens when you lose the ball and you're playing counter pressing and you're high up the pitch. What do you think is going to happen? There might be a movement between both players to get back into their original positions. So your libero is high up the pitch. When you just lose the ball, he's going to run back. The halfback is going to go up trying to win the ball. So what you're doing really is you're telling the player in this position, the defender, to chase after an opposition midfielder. And you're telling the midfielder to go. It just makes no sense. It's like, why would you want to do something like that? So when I noticed that there was during that transition period, that phase, right, there's this bit of a mix-up in defending. That's when I realized the only way that halfback and libero system works is in a system where you are, actually it doesn't work. Can't even rationalize when it works. Halfbacks work very well in this setup. Wingbacks and halfbacks, they're very nice. But I'll play ball-playing defenders either side of halfback. Why? Because when the halfback drops and forms a 3, right? Sometimes he passes the ball to the defender, which can be very annoying if your defender does not know how to move with the ball. Because then all the defender does is pass the ball back to the halfback. Or look for somebody in central positions to play. So why are you bothering to do that then? So if you want to play a halfback, you're playing a 3-man narrow setup. So you want wingbacks that position high up the pitch, giving your halfback or your defenders more options to bring the ball. And you need these players to bring the ball forward. This is why wingbacks are the preferred option when I use halfbacks. But in the totem pole of roles, right, this is the lowest among all the roles in the game. The one that I use the least, or I avoid using the most, is the halfback. I avoid using this role. I rather use the anchor, because the anchor is like he's got a rubber band on the two defenders, so he's not very far away. So it's a very nice role, because when it's the movement, right, you can kind of predict where he's going to be all the time, so you kind of know. So his defensively is really solid, keeps it simple, brilliant. You know, when the anchor comes in very handy. Oh, when you're playing attacking inverted wingbacks. Then the anchor is actually in the center. The inverted wingbacks can go charging. But then the problem with inverted wingbacks would be that you probably be better off playing like a setup more akin to this. Let me put these guys here. Okay. Now, I'm waiting for one of you to create this tactic. Inverted wingbacks. I did this tactic before on the stream, right? If I'm not mistaken, I did this one. This is a crazy tactic, but it actually can work because now you got a lot of flank-based players, right? So liberos will come in here. take up this slot. These two are gonna make sure they are rubber banded, so they're not gonna run away from each other too much. So you got your player who came in the second ball. This guy can definitely roam left and right, and these guys are coming up the pitch. And so what we can do here is we can play like wingers, we can play inside forwards, you can do you can even do like the whole I want to pull out everybody to one side of the pitch, score on the other side of the pitch or around router. You can do that too. So this can actually work, right? But this is very defensive. This is extremely defensive. But but our goal today was this group. So I think we covered all of them, right? Except for the inverted winger inside forward. We didn't do this. But this is it's been done to death. I think you guys probably know how this moves, right? Inside forward, picks out the ball, just attacks. Priority is to attack. So he's always in this zone here. Okay. But when he gets the ball, he's actually inside. That means he's in that space, right? So if you have like if you're playing something like this, so if you're playing something, the inside forward is going to go this way. He's actually here, not here. So this is one of the reasons why when you are playing inside forwards, right, and the opposition is playing an inverted wing back, actually what you're doing is you're actually quite close to each other. So when you lose the ball like that, inverted wing back is easier for him to attack that guy. Easier for him to handle the inside forward. So if you play inside forward and the opposition is playing inverted wing back, what you really want is you want to play a winger against an inverted wing back. An inverted wing back is in this position. So you want to play inside forward. He's actually closer to him. But if you play a winger, the winger is further, so the inverted wing back actually moves out. Right? So he has to, like, because it's got to do with counter pressing, right? So when they have the ball, the inverted wing back is in this position, right? So when they are attacking, the inverted wing back is sitting in this position, right? So when they lose the ball, if you have an inside forward, he's going to be closer to the inverted wing back. But during that period when you're counter pressing, they got 10 seconds to win the ball back. But if you are using a winger, he's going to be further away from the inverted wing back. So this is how I want you to think. So when you're using these roles, right, you got to think in terms of the instructions that you use, counter press. Because counter press, if you look at this, right, if you look at counter press as an instruction, who does it influence? You see this, right? We got this. So we put the roles in these positions. See this inverted wing back. According to this, is right. Inverted wing back is not affected by counter press. But if your inverted wing back is in this position, right, when you lose the ball, right, he does a movement. If you look very carefully at the game, right, you will notice he does your team. If you're playing with a much higher defensive line, that defensive line tells that fullbacks to support midfield. So you got to be careful with how you set up. So a lot of the time when you're looking at your backline and how it's reacting, it's always got to do with your defensive line. So the higher defensive line, the more likely you're going to get in trouble with your wingbacks and inverted wingbacks. So there's a lot of little nuances to the game, but we'll cover that in other streams. Because these last few streams have been more like funkier to make, looking at tactics and in a more break them down, break the roles down, and go crafting tactics based around certain roles. So today we did what? Wide playmaker, we did Trequartista. What else did we do? We did a few. And the craziest one we did was a track all the way. But we made the one of the crazy, I think at the start of the stream, the craziest one was this one. That one was the craziest, but actually worked. Thanks to Spurs fan asking. If Spurs fan hadn't asked, we wouldn't have made this tactic. The tactic was literally a 4-3-3 like this. And it actually worked. Because if you understand how the roles are moving, all you got to do is, what do you need these two to do? Move into channels. Because the channel is one. These are the channels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the channels, right? So you move into the channels, he's going to bomb like this. So you need move into the channel. So it goes here, move there, it goes here, it goes here. So, okay, fine. What do you need these three to go? These three are still going to move into the channels, right? So they're also going to go here and here and here, right? But what you want them to have is aggression. All then you need is for these guys to bring the ball up. So that's what we did. We made the guys bring the ball up. How did we do that? We just kept it simple. Inverted fullback, libero. And this role was an Enganche, remember? And he actually, when we lost the ball, he actually came here. So a lot of the time when you play Football Manager, you got to think about how the role moves when you have the ball and when you don't have the ball. And the only way you're going to find that out is by experimenting. Just go out there and just have fun. Just find one save with a decent team and just make the weirdest tactics you can think of. But remember only 3 things. You need to know where the role is going. So move into chance is the first clue. The second thing you got to worry about is the duty. That's it. And the other thing that you want to know about tactics is this focus play instruction, which is really important to understand if you want to create space on one side of the pitch and score on the other side of the pitch. Then width is very important because you want to know, hey, I want to get it to the wings fast. I want the wings to be the creative source of inspiration, not the center. Then play on wider settings. That's it. You want an Enganche to be the star of the show, this thing goes all the way back down here. Enganche becomes a star. You get very good ratings for Enganches. You want wingers to be the star of the show, boom, wingers on attack. You want wide target force to be the link, you go for this. This is how you play. This is a lot of the times roles don't work right because people are they're just like, oh, the meta instruction is play like this. That's when that happens, and then you're in trouble. I don't win the second ball. Does that mean my backline is too low? Yes. Or your DM, you get 2 reasons why. Okay, your defensive line could be very low. Okay, your mentality could be very low. Or your mentality, all you got to do, miles per hour, is very simple, right? If you don't win the second ball, is it because you don't have a DM there, anchor there, a player that can move into that position? That's the first thing you address. Okay, in the zone, is there a player that can win the second ball? Now, if you see it, because ideally what we don't want is a ball going to where midfielder should be winning the ball, but we got a defender trying to win the ball. If that happens, we are a bit of quandary because that can open our back line up. So the game as a whole will not want that to happen, right? Because it's like most football logic says defenders shouldn't be rushing up. Like that's why you see defenders like Alisson defenders like Van Dijk scolding midfielders. So is there a midfielder that's supposed to win the ball? Is he doing his job? That's where you first find out. If you find out that it is, you have a defensive midfielder there, he's supposed to win the job, he's supposed to win the ball, then actually if you're not winning the second ball, you don't raise your defensive line, you drop your defensive line. Meaning now you're looking at, first change your mentality. Is it too high? Bring it down 1 notch. That will move your defensive line down a bit. Take a look at that first. Bring it down for the notch. Go to balance. Go to balance first and see whether you're winning the second ball. If you're winning the second ball, it didn't need a major change. Because if you want your defenders to win the second ball, then of course you play on a much higher defensive line. Then you're pushing your defenders high up the pitch, right? So they will be supporting midfield. But if you have midfielders there, and then you want them to win the second ball, then you drop your defensive line or you drop your mentality. That's how the game works. That's how you got to think. That's what I do when I'm playing the game, at least, Yeah. So, and this has been a fun stream. It's, what time is it? It's almost 3 a.m. in the morning. You're beautiful. For me, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, but I don't mind. Yeah, today is fun, it's fine. 3 a.m. in the morning is actually okay for me. It's one of those, I haven't done these late night streams in a long time, okay? Right? The last time I was doing this late night, I think the last time I did a late night stream like this, right? A late night stream like this was playing Black Myth Wukong, remember? That was the night, that I remember I wanted to get to the boss, I want to get the final boss, I want to do this, I want to do that. I was like obsessed with that game. I'm still obsessed with the game. I'll be very honest with you guys. I don't play Black Myth Wukong. The reason why I don't play Black Myth Wukong, okay, is because my fingers started to hurt. My joints started to hurt. I'm no longer a 20-year-old man who can play with gripping a joystick for 10 hours in a row and just trying stuff out, okay? My wrist started to hurt. I mean, I cannot believe the crap my body went through playing Black Myth Wukong. 12 hours because you're holding the thing, you're holding the controller. Oh my goodness, my wrist now hurts. That's like a reminder, don't play the game. Playing with a 4-2-4 DM, high press, standard defensive line. High press, standard 4-2-4 DM. 4-2-4 DM. Defensive midfield should be winning the second ball, man. You got to Your defenders. Okay, when you say you're not winning the second ball, how far are you using DMs on? Are your defensive midfielders on defend duty or support duties? What's this tactic on the screen? What is the tactic we started with? That's the tactic we started with on the stream. Early. You gotta watch. You go watch the YouTube. You watch the YouTube playback, right? It was exactly this: pressing forward, attack, advance forward. We used shadow striker, enganche, and we made it work. We made this tactic work, okay? On the stream. It was crazy. The only way this worked, we actually started out with target for advance for because I was a coward. But this tactic could work, theoretically in my head it can work, but only under certain conditions. It's hell of a fun, but it's like one of those. You can make one of those hoop ball tactics, right? All the way up the pitch, just go for a goal. One defend, one support. No wonder. Play both on. Don't play one defend, one on support. Play both of them on support. Okay, don't play one on defend, one on support. Because what is going to happen is you're going to have a lopsided situation when it comes to defending, right? You don't need. Okay, I tell you something. In a 4-2-4 DM. 100% you do not need to play a defend duty. There is no need to play a defend duty in a 4-2-4 DM. You play both of them on support. It's better off that way because then you can get very good coverage for a second ball. You can always be the second ball. So that's what you change. Don't play defend, play both on support. Yeah. If you wanted to, then you take one guy, tell him to take more risks, tell the other guy to take fewer risks. That's how it's going to work. So I think that was your situation. You're playing with your 4-2-4 DM high press standard defensive line. All you needed, I think that's what you need to do. Yeah. Because you don't want your defenders winning the ball first. If you want defenders to, because you probably, if you push out your defensive line, what you could end up with in some situations is, on some attacks down one side of the pitch, right, your defender will pull out a position because of the support duty, and then your attack open, your defense will open up. Yeah, that could be dangerous. You try it out tomorrow and let me know. Or you can post that, Miles. If you're on the Discord, post the tactic up. We take a look. But most of you guys now, I don't need to post tactics. I see all your tactics are too good. Some of your tactics are even better than mine. I gotta admit, some of your tactics are very imaginative. I think some of you guys are coming with some crazy tactics, which is something I actually wanted to see that in the community a long time ago. That's one of the reasons why I started what I started a long time ago. Which is, if I die tomorrow, I should. Okay, all right. There is a whole community out there now that thinks of Football Manager tactics in a slightly different way. And that's all I wanted to see happen. That's all I wanted to see happen. Yo, how are you, sir? How are you? Welcome to the stream, brother. Those are boys. Over there. I'm so tired. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. 2:34 a.m. I had a long. I don't know. Oh shit. Take your time, man, Miles. How do things get hacked? Yeah. All good. Been a while. I know it's been a while, man. It's been a while. I had a 4-hour tennis session today before the stream. Okay. I had a 4-hour tennis session before the stream. So during the stream, I was doing all this. Okay, guys, let me. Oh God! I just sat down for 2 hours. Oh my ass hurts. Oh God. Okay. Back down again. No, I should get those tables that go up and down, right? I should be able to do that. But man, if I can't get up and stretch for 2 seconds of my life when I'm streaming, you guys are hardcore. You all just want me to sit down. You all should actually, this whole notion about telling streamers to drink is a good idea. But what is even better is get up and stretch. That should be the way. Anyway, guys, I don't know, man. I don't think Okay. I think there's a greater chance of us seeing I think there's a greater chance of Lionel Messi suddenly deciding to do a free transfer to Manchester United and showing up in their league team next season than there is for us to see an FM26 drop news in the next month or so. Like, there's been complete dead silence in the last couple of months. They hacked my email and then tried to get into everything, lost my Instagram and Discord. It was, you gotta be very careful. You got, like, you know, sometimes you gotta be very, I know, you gotta be very careful about how you, internet. The internet is I have to be very careful, especially I'm a streamer. I have to be very careful when I'm streaming as well. Yeah, I almost at one point something almost happened. I was this close to being hacked. But you know, gotta be very careful all the time. All right, guys, I tell you what we're gonna do right now. Okay, we are gonna go and see if anybody else is streaming Football Manager. Okay, I really think that it's a good idea for me to go and start planning. You know what? The dream phase. Like something nice, you know, dream. Because if the longer I stream, the more likely it is going to be for me to go like, you know what, I feel like playing Black Myth Wukong. Seriously, no, now I really feel like playing Black Myth Wukong. But then I injure my hands again. Should I? No, I don't. Let's not do that. Okay, let's go and sleep. That'll be good. Very healthy people after that. All of us can go and have a good life. You know, enjoy. What? Nobody else is nowadays. Everybody's retired from Football Manager, is it? Big Robbo. Let's go to Robbo, man. Big Robbo 14. Okay. So we're gonna go raid Big Robbo. Robbo 14. Oh, he's. I tell you what we'll do. We're going to raid the Taff Man. Okay, raid the Taff Man. Since Robbo has got so many people watching him, I'm sure you guys will eventually decide who to watch, right? Because I know that most of the time, you guys have your own preferred content creators. So we're gonna go and raid the Taff Man. And drop in a rate. And then you guys have a great rest of the day. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Have fun. Think of the other person before you do something fun or crazy or whatever. Look, half of this is hangover driven. Okay. The other half is too tired. Yeah, I also drink and play tennis at the same time. So quite a psychotic fella. I am probably not a very good example for younger people who want to watch me stream. So you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. I shall see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all the love. You guys be good. Okay, let's go raid someone called the Deaf Man.